Okay, here we are. Wonder what it. Okay. Oh, how's everybody doing tonight? Got my phone hooked up to the hotspot, and it wants me to do the whole download, the whole shabil thing tonight. Oh, let me get the few things worked out here, fellas. Okay. Brian, how we doing? Ben Charles, what's up, bud? I feel like I'm pulling everybody away from Trapper Jay's thing. I mentioned I was going live at 8, and he texted me. He's like, "You going live at 8 tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah." Feel terrible for that. Trapper J raid. Hey Mo. Oh shoot. Man, you guys hit me all at once here. How's everybody going? Yeah, he did send everybody, didn't he? You know, when he said a raid, I didn't know what was going on. Holy cow. Man, you guys hit me hard. Now I'm gonna get nervous. I have so many people on here. Oh Mo, he had to go to bed. Really, Trapper J? Figured you're the guy that stays up till like 4 in the morning working on stuff. He sent all of you. I'm not sure how that worked. Did he just literally like switch his feed over to mine, or what happened? I don't know this technology stuff. I struggle with it pretty bad. Oh shoot. Oh, he's got the convention tomorrow. Yeah, he texted me about that. If I didn't have so much stuff going on, I would have liked to gone down to that Missouri convention. I think that'd have been a good time. I know a lot of people that were down there. Sounds like it was pretty decent turnout from what I understand. So should be a good time for him. How's everybody? Is this coming through pretty clear? Our internet's pretty spotty out here in the country, so just making sure everybody's got me. Just mixed a half and half, waiting to go live. Half Yukon Jack and half RC course. Man, that's brutal. So what's everybody up to tonight? What's going on? Nice Friday night. You know, the weather's starting to cool down. Except for this week, we're gonna have like the record high 90 degrees on Monday. It's gonna be pretty miserable, but you know the weather's starting to cool. Those trails are starting to pop out like crazy. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. Not haven't started doing my scouting yet. Tried to the other day. Those that follow my page, you saw me out. I thought I'd get an early jump on mapping my route out, and it did not work out. Fishing with Chris, half vodka, half rum. Oh, Anthony got rain on Monday. Yeah, we're gonna hit. I think they said 91 degrees. I am not looking forward to that at all. But I'm really need to, next couple weeks, really start figuring out where I'm going with my routes. I was hoping the trails would pop, but um, I'm always looking into more markets and stuff, and always watching the weather predictions. And they're pushing our frost back until like March, or not March, October 18th or 19th now. So it's normally the first week in October. With that frost not being here, those trails aren't going to pop as much. That's gonna be pretty rough. It kind of puts me behind the eight ball. That's for sure. Jeep fam Overland. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hey, Possum. Good to see you. Dan, I've been messing around the shop, just whiskey and bad decisions. Yeah, that's not good. It seems like anytime alcohol starts flowing, the productivity stops if I'm trying to get anything done in the shop. It just comes to a screeching halt. So Dale Price 40 this morning. Man, that's crazy. It was like 2 weeks ago. My fur buyer texted me and he goes, "Yeah, it's finally starting to cool off." He's up in northern Minnesota and he's like, "Yeah, it's starting to cool off. We're finally hitting lows in the mid 30s now." And I'm like, "Fine, we won't see that until almost Christmas, probably." Hey, Travis Wade, thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's not whiskey, but rum and Pepsi. How about that? Appreciate the super chat, man. Try not to get too wild on these things. I've had a couple rough mornings after a few of these lives, but it's just fun. You get talking with trapping, and that's I'm very passionate about it. So you start shooting the bull about trapping and where people are from with how they trap, and it's a good time. It's a really good time. Yeah, Dredger 9. Kind of a rough day yesterday. Had some personal stuff going on, but me and the boy drove some back roads home. Uh, just checking out some of my normal routes, and man, we found some really, really good stuff right before dark last night. I trap it every year, but it really, really looked good. So, really, when you're having a bad day, that really kind of gets you excited again. It kind of really makes you pumped up. So, John, we need some shine. No, we don't. Trev, you're north of Maine, and we haven't had a frost yet. They're predicting one for several weeks. Climate change. Yeah, that's crazy. I know the guys up in northern Minnesota, they're probably not too far off. I think it was like 2 weeks ago when my buyer said they had a low of 38 or something like that. Yeah, we had one low here that was like 43 degrees, and man, that gets your blood flowing. I mean, that gets exciting for sure. Rum will put hair on your chest. Yeah, I don't know what my wife would think of that. Aiden, how we doing, bud? Overcast outdoors. I'm using for skunks. Right here, Duke dog proofs. Set them for coon. Fill them to the top with cat food. I think we ended up with close to 50 skunks last year, and I would say probably 40 of them came out of my dog proofs. I caught a handful in my 220s, but for the most part, it was dog proofs. Hunt ready. Hey, welcome to the show, bud. Oh, you're getting some hats made for the kids? That's cool. That's cool. Trev, for beaver, yeah, I'm going to be going after beaver, not this winter, but this spring. Um, I really 2 years ago I got in spring beaver trapping, caught like 18. Last year I kind of committed a lot more, had 42, I believe. And next year we're going to shoot for 100. It should be a really fun spring line. October 20th for your first frost. Ooh. Hey Ken, how we doing? Oh, North Dakota, you're supposed to get your first frost of the year. Man, that's got to get your blood flowing. That'd be exciting. That's awesome. I love that first frost. Hey, good to know, Aiden. You're getting everything ready? Yeah, it's not going to be long now. I mean, it's coming to crunch time. Dredger 9, how often do I dispatch those skunks without them spraying? You've had no luck. There's some tricks to it, and I'm not a professional at it by any means. But what I'll do is I dispatch everything with a 177 air rifle, 1,200 feet per second. Everything on my line gets dispatched with that. And on those skunks, everyone has this thing where they think skunks are very aggressive or they want to spray, and they really don't. They're pretty docile. You can walk up to them just talking nice and easy to them, and they'll just calm down. And I do a heart lung shot with them, and then they'll pop their tail up real quick, and then they'll just instantly come down like they're relaxed again. Generally, with the right shot placement, give it 30 seconds, and he'll just fall asleep, and he'll be done for. Sometimes, this year I'm going to look into the injections of them. I want to try that a little bit more, but try to make it more effective. A few of those skunks I've had to shoot a couple times now, or it takes a little longer than I like. So we're going to try the injection method a little bit. Okay. Skunk is 220, probably best. You don't have to deal with a live one. Actually, with my skunks and 220s, though, I got a lot of them spray. Not a lot, probably 50%, but a little more than I like personally. 1965. How we doing? I will not be in Lexington. No, unfortunately not. Yeah, Mo. I'm trying to keep up. This is a lot more fast paced than I'm used to. So, beaver meat, some of the West game, best game aside from moose. Yeah, I like eating beaver. A lot of people find this crazy, but try if you get some fresh muskrat. Try muskrat. Man, that's good. That is really good. Yeah, Patrick, I agree with you. Hunt ready. Been working 12-hour midnight shifts. Yeah, I feel for you. I feel for you. Yeah, Dredger 9. Avoid the headshots. That's where you're spraying. They're going to spray 95% of the time with a headshot. Yep. Yeah, just what Jeep fam said. Thanks, Mo. 120 Bilal box. They don't spray. I wish I knew who this was. There's a guy up in Canada. He catches skunks like by the dozens a day. And he uses, I want to say it was 160s, but it might be 120s, Belial's, and he doesn't have anything spray ever. He's actually got a YouTube channel. Oh, I wish I could think of it for the life of me. I can't though. Really, really knowledgeable guy. Definitely has some good strategies there if you're going just for skunks. How do I store my skunk spray? I'll go out back here to my pit when I go to with the carcasses, and I'll syringe it out, and I'll put them in a 4-ounce glass bottle. When I'm done with that, I got a cardboard box that just has some dirt in it. I'll put the bottle in there, cover it up, back up with dirt, put a lid, close the box up, and then I got an old freezer, a little like a dorm freezer size thing that doesn't work anymore, and I just put it in that and shut the door and wait to sell it. That's how I do it anyway. Works pretty good. Oh, you have cookbooks with muskrats in them? That's awesome. Yeah, muskrat's good, guys. Don't dismiss it. You've never had one last more than a couple minutes. Yeah, skunks, honestly, that's where the money's going to be at this year. Skunks, muskrat, mink are coming up. If you're in good coyote country, you still got a good market for them. But, where I'm at here in the Midwest, we don't have a good coyote. And some of our best coyotes might make the bare minimum grade for the good one, what the good ones would be. But anything with rubnecks or anything, you're pretty well wasting your time with them, it sounds like. Oh, okay, yeah, that was you, Anthony. I remember that. Um, I saw that. I remember seeing that. Jeep, I have not got an albino skunk. I have caught some really cool ones. Actually, the one behind me was one I had tanned. I had this skunk tanned because he's got like shoulder patches, big white belly, knee patches on the bottom. Uh, just a really unique skunk. From the back you can't tell it, but the belly side, he's pretty cool. You don't run across a whole lot of them like that. You have a stupid amount of muskrats around, so much damage to river dikes, and yeah, if you have the muskrats, they're going to be worth going after. But problem I think a lot of people are going to have this drought. There's not going to be a whole lot of rats around in most parts of the country. If you can find some, definitely go after them. That's from what I've been hearing, they're probably looking about a $5 average, give or take. Uh, that's not bad for a rat. They're easy to skin, easy to put up, pretty simple. You have a bunch of different kinds of skunks in Arizona. But didn't you have the what they call them, the civet cat down there, or the spotted skunk, if I remember right? You got one skunk behind the chicken coop with a drag tail. I swear that was the length of its body. Yeah, they come in so many different colors and sizes, guys. They're a pretty unique animal. Oh, really? That's interesting, Trev. No drought there at all, huh? Huh, that's crazy. Oh, shoot. Always bring one of these in here with me just to fidget with. It's kind of a habit. So anyway, guys, something I was going to bring up too, I want to think about doing. Um, I know a lot of guys now are doing they're wanting to start finishing fur, especially with the low markets. I've got a raccoon skinning finishing video out there. Coon Creek has a really good one. There's several of them out there, but I'm thinking about this year once things slow down, not the first week of season, but I want to do a live feed while I'm actually finishing fur. Um, I'll be able to answer some questions and read some comments, but have the camera, the probably my wife's iPad, set up so it can actually watch me flush coon or coyotes or whatever I'm doing. Then I'll have my phone set up in front of me so I can actually see comments and respond to them. Something that, I don't know if anyone's done that before. I haven't seen anything like that, and I'm kind of a outside the box thinker and might be able to help some of you guys that are just getting started and have absolutely no idea how to finish fur. Might be able to help somebody out. Just a thought anyway. Just kind of curious, see what's going on with that. But 5-0 Trapper, how are we doing? Thanks for watching, man. It was a fun season last year. Pretty disappointing with how it ended for me, but you know, I set a big goal that I hit the year before, but between crop rotations and running out of ground and filming, it did not happen last year. So I was pretty disappointed, but we're gonna try for it this year. I learned a lot. I got some more ground lined up. It should be good fun. I'm looking forward to it. Well, actually, Jeep, I don't think I'll have to because if I'm flushing like I do, my beam's pretty flat. I can just look up and I'll have my phone set up, right in front of me on my bench. See in the comments. I just got to try to rig up some kind of stand so my wife's iPad can actually see me flushing from down. It's gonna be interesting, but I'll come up with something. It'll be fun, but I think it could help some people out. Hey Justin, how we doing? Oh yeah, Trev. Yeah. Honestly, with raccoons, the ears and the eyes, you don't flesh them at all. If you're selling for the fur market, you don't have to flesh at all. Uh, it's strictly I start right behind the ears, right at the ears, and flesh back. Unless you're leaving chunks of meat on the face, you don't have to touch them at all. Justin, you had to go load some small bales or what? Oh wow, you had some flooding in your area, Jeff. That's crazy. Yeah, thanks, 5-0 Trapper. It was fun. I was disappointed how it turned out. I kept advertising 1,000 the whole season, and then when I fell 100 short, it's pretty discouraging. But it is what it is. Absolutely, Anthony. We'll hopefully be able to hook you up with that for sure. Jana, Judith, and Dan. If you make boxes like Martin nesting boxes, they work stacked together. Huh, I didn't even see Luke in here. Okay, there he is. I was wondering if Luke was going to make it in here. He texted me and said he was. You got Bobcat here in southern Ontario. Seems like cat populations are really exploding, kind of all across the country. There seems to be definitely a lot of people chasing them now, a lot more than there ever used to be. How we doing, Trapper Jay? So I thought you had to go to bed because you got an early morning or whatnot. Finishing up the GoPro rig you're going to use for the setting videos. I don't know if that would. I don't know if that would work because I'm moving my whole upper body, so I think it would move too much, but I could be wrong. Dredger, you turned your 550s last year into 2 coils instead of 4, and they work just as good, just easier to set. The are they Duke or MBs? I'm curious on that. Bobcats, West Central Indiana. I'll tell you what, here in Iowa, the Cats are making a heck of a comeback. Um, they are, shoot, we were allowed one, now we're allowed three. I really think it's just a matter of time before Iowa opens it up completely. We should anyway, at least in the southern half. I mean, I'll have my three cats on accident into 20 trails around here pretty soon. I would say in the first 2 weeks for sure that I'll have all my cats tagged. Kind of disappointing, really, but like to wait till they get a little prime or close to Christmas, somewhere in there. So explain to me how that worked. Did you literally just like? I thought you were just gonna get off and mention it or something. That's kind of crazy. Western Outdoors. How we doing? What do you do when you are on work line with coon in the bed of your truck? Is it supposed to get warm during the day? Actually, good question, Justin. I run my traps before work, which a lot of you saw last year. And I park at work, and I'm at work for 10 to 11 hours. I will always put them up close to the cab before I get out of the truck or before I even get to work. Generally at Casey's in the morning if I can. They kind of frown upon that at a food warehouse if there's dead animals and you're touching them and stuff. But I'll put them up towards the cab of my truck, and then I'll always face with my truck facing south. I'll park that way. There's always a little bit of a shade to the north, so that way I don't have to worry about that. I don't have the huge catches that I do early in the year. My catch a good day might be 15 to 20 on my work line, so it's not too bad. Plus, when I'm back to work, it's almost December, so generally I don't have to worry about it too much. If it was the beginning of November, yeah, I'd be pretty worried. Your action get live if you connect with Wi-Fi to your phone. Okay, Jeep. Okay, I see what you're saying. Outdoor mic, you're loaded with Bobcats and Zeras. I wish we didn't have a limit. Man, hopefully someday the DNR realizes just how many there are. I really honestly think down in southern Iowa, probably the bottom two tiers, your Bobcat population's as prevalent as the coyote populations are. I mean, there's a lot of Bobcats down there. Oh yeah, Brody, for sure. Yeah, your Bobcats are going to travel the river corridors. I used to catch a lot of fox on the river corridors. Good place to catch some coyotes too, especially a lot of coons. Those high bank trails, you can catch literally almost anything on those high bank trails for sure. Dog population exploded in Ontario last few years. Easy to see a few at night when deer hunting. You talking wolves up there or actual coyotes? I'm kind of curious. You cover yours with plywood, Trapper J? I've thought about that, but my luck, I'd forget going home, and at 60 mile an hour, that plywood would probably go through somebody's front glass, and that wouldn't be too good. Yeah, I thought Oregon kind of outlawed anything being killed in that whole state, even farmers and ranchers, and nothing could die up there. 5-0 Trapper, does she recognize me after season? Oh, yes and no. Let's just say I'm not even allowed to come in the house after I've caught a skunk, which for the first few weeks is at least one every day, it seems like. So she doesn't actually see me for a little while in there, but I can't complain. And she takes care of all the house stuff when I'm out doing this. So it's frustrating for her, I'm sure, but especially when she's doing all the work at home and then I come home smelling like skunk. Yeah, it is what it is. Jeep fam head to Arizona after some cats. Only rule is no body grips bigger than 7.5 inches on land. Really? John Wagner, DNR at the NTA, said they would not drop the bag limit on cats until you can harvest them in every county. Are you talking, you mean up the population? That makes sense, though. You can't open the population up in 2 counties and not catch them 2 counties away. Makes sense, but still sucks, man. We have so many cats. Oh, Anthony, that never did pass. Okay, that's good, man. The news, you don't trust anything on the news anymore. I'll get pop-ups on my phone all the time that says, I think that's where I saw that. And that was actually one of my farmers that I trap off of, do some ADC work for him. He sent me a link to that saying that Oregon passes bill to eliminate all no death in the whole freaking state. And yeah, it just, you never know what's true and what's not. So probably something that just got started and then obviously never went through. You gonna start popping in DPs while beaver trapping? I love these suckers. Definitely my bread and butter of my lawn, that's for sure. Our shot rod, 1965. What do I do if I catch a bobcat in 220 after my limit? Turn it in. I don't get in trouble for it. It's not, it's out of my control. But you turn it in, the DNR skins it, and then they sell it, and then they make money off it. So kind of frustrating. Yeah, Anthony, we did talk about this last time. After I said that last, I started wondering. I was like, pretty sure we went through this once. Yeah, Chad, you're probably right. The Bobcats are working their way. Northern Iowa just opened up for one Bobcat to a couple counties next to you. Yeah, they're slowly. I mean, it's kind of a bowl of counties you can't catch Bobcats in, but definitely getting more and more out there that you can. Seems like every year they open 2 or 3 or 5 counties more to it. Outdoor Mike, yeah. Oh, trust me, my wife rolls her eyes at me more often than not during season, I think, and I can't blame her. Your 11-year-old daughter is only halfway through, but you can tell Jennifer that it's a great book so far. Yeah, I know, and it's not trapping. Yeah. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate the support on that. Yeah, I do this trapping thing, and my wife works in an accounting firm now, but she's going back to school to do graphic design, which is her real passion, and writing. She wrote that book a few years ago and is writing the second book now, and so we're both following our dreams. We just know it takes time to get where you want to be. That's for sure. But couldn't be prouder of her for it. She's pushing through. I do the strapping thing and she takes care of the kids. But during the rest of the year, when she has school and stuff, and I'll try and take care of the kids when she has school 3 to 4 nights out of the week. So it's kind of a mutual respect. It makes us both tired and angry at the other one sometimes, but that's marriage. Tried making your own martin box with muskrat for the first time. Worked out better than you thought. Really? Huh. Interesting. I know muskrat's used for bait for a lot of things. Yeah, I think they'd have a tough time, Jeep, to do away with conibears across every state. The states make the rules for it. The federal government's not controlling that. Kansas Trapper, how we doing? Yeah, Trapper Jazz. Honestly, I'll be surprised if we don't have a cat on opening morning this year. I caught one last year, opening morning, when my other buddy Justin rode with me. That was pretty disappointing not get that on footage, but yeah, we caught one. I mean, I think I'm tagged out in the first week last year. It's crazy. Jeep, actually, it's right here. The Traveler by Jennifer Deaver. It's on Amazon. Check it out. If you got kids and that, I'll probably get the age group wrong, but 10 to 14, 9 to 15 range. Pretty good book about adventure. It's check it out. She's right now working on the second one. It's just tough, with kids and work and school at night, so she's a little stressed. She's a little behind where she'd want to be, I think, but she's working on it. So it's been fun seeing her grow as well. How many years do you use to get out of my pogo driver? Flintlock, I don't know. I think I've got 4 or 5 now, and I've only ever broke one. I broke that one by hammered in the frozen ground. The pogo got stuck and it wouldn't come back out. Well, I tried to twist the driver and it sheared one of the faces off on the bottom. So only one I've ever ruined. So hey, Justin, glad to see Cooper made it in here. Um, here in 15 years, that kid's gonna out trap me. I'm sure of it. Need landowners' permission trap county right of ways in Nebraska. Yeah, that sucks. Uh, I mean, here, I got the right of ways that I don't have to have any permission. Some farmers think I have to have permission, and I ran into that a couple times last year. But for the most part, I can kind of I go unnoticed, and a lot of people don't even realize I'm there. But and some farmers, they'll come out there getting ready to chew ass, and you tell them that you're just trapping road ditches, and oh, well, I got a pond back here with muskrats or the beaver in this creek if you want to get them too. Every time I'm approached by a farmer, it goes one of two ways. It's either what I just said or get the hell off my property. And that generally goes into a nice, pleasant conversation. Depends on my mood and how big my line is at the time. Sometimes I'll just, okay, sir, thank you. I'll move and I'll leave, and I don't have time to argue with them. But if my line's slow, I'm going to point him out that he's wrong. And if we get the law involved, that's fine. It's happened before. And they realize that I'm perfectly legal and there's nothing they can do about it. Hey, Judith and Dan, thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that. Mo, hey, yeah, thanks, Mo. I appreciate that, guys. You guys are awesome. Definitely glad to have you aboard for this whole journey. I appreciate it. Boy, I get going talking, and then I look up here and I'm 20 comments away. Yeah, 7 kids want one. No, Jeep. I'm pretty sure I've tried to pawn my daughter off on people at Walmart before who think she's cute. So, hey, she's pretty cute. Perfect. Take her. What are my thoughts on the 500-pound black bear that Michigan DNR euthanized the other day after trapping and relocating it once? Then it made it back to where they trapped it and became more bold. To be honest with you, I never even saw that. I don't know anything about that, man. Um, so they trapped it and moved it, and it came right back. That's weird. They didn't move it far enough then. You got to move. I mean, all animals, you got to move a long ways. Even like raccoons, for my nuisance wildlife control license, if I was to relocate one, it has to be like 10 miles away. I mean, just a crazy amount. I can only imagine with a bear. Yeah, Mo. I actually wrote that down on my paper after the last live, and you said you can personalize that. So I started looking into it, and oh yeah, okay, that's what they're talking about. Okay, so I'm so computer illiterate, it's not even funny. I struggle with this stuff bad. I still had to have my wife come in here and set this up. I'm terrible about it. You had quite a few coyotes slip out of the Bridger number threes, double coil. Any suggestions? Bigger footholds. Hmm. I would ask how strong those springs are. That's a big enough trap, and if the coils are good, you should be perfectly fine. That's yeah. I mean, I've caught. I don't go that big. I run the twos, but I'm not a coyote trapper, guys. That's not my main thing. I go after coon for sure, but the coyotes I have caught have all been either number twos or even 1.5 dukes. I've caught a few coyotes just in my 1.5 dukes that were set for coon, and they hold them. Um, I would say there's something wrong with your coils then, personally, because that's pretty crazy. WT trapping, how we doing? outdoor mic. They'll come back after being moved hundreds of miles. I did not know that. Oh, WT trap, and I just got my rum and Pepsi. Kind of my that's pretty much what I drink. Unless it's bowling night, then I'll go to beer. But Justin Cooper. So that's Justin Stein's on here. He makes the A&J skinning machines, which is the ones I use, and I kind of promote for them because they are awesome. They really, if you don't have a skinning machine, you need one because if you're skinning 10 animals a year, you need something. But his boy Cooper, I'm trying to think how old he said he was. 7, if I remember right, maybe 8. He's been watching my videos and telling Dad what he needs to do differently so he can catch coons like I do. So he asked, how do I catch that many coons? Well, I'll tell you what. Sometime I'll have to show you, bud, and you have to get your dad off his butt to go out there and do it. You need to get him to drive all kinds of miles and call in sick to work, and you'll catch a lot of coons. No, it'll come with experience, Cooper. You're just a young pup yet, but just enjoy having fun with your dad, going out there trapping, man. That's all I can say, buddy. Yeah, Kansas trapper. That's a good point too. If the bed was unsolid, if it was unsteady, saw something was wrong, maybe he was digging at it, and maybe there's an issue with that you just kind of toe caught him, or I guess I should ask you this: when you say you caught him and it got away, was there an actual circle around? Was the trap just snapped still close to the bed? Was it pulled to one side and just left there with no circle? Which for me, I believe you just caught like hair or maybe rolled in it and pulled it off to the side. There's several possible things that could happen there, man. Getting 2 catches or they are rolling. Yeah, okay. Well, Trapper Dre just answered it right there. Hey, Spicer Outdoors, how we doing? Hey, Chad's in here. You're going to make some pogo anchors while you're listening. That's something I got to do. I got to make a whole bunch of them yet. It's kind of my year to remake a bunch of them, and I got a lot of work to do with them. A lot of work. Anthony likes the No BS Extremes. They're good traps. Good heavy traps. Bowl at night. Yeah, Chad Walker, Possum. Yeah, he agrees. They're either scratching at it or rolling. Number 3 is plenty trap for a coyote. Yeah, Chad would definitely know more about that than I would. I'm not a coyote trapper, guys, but a lot of the guys are on here, so pay attention. It's kind of cool seeing the actual people communicate with themselves on my chat. Making connections, learning stuff from each other. That's pretty cool. I like that. Send me a picture of the bear on Instagram that your cousin had in his yard. Same night I was trout fishing the river. Oh, I'm glad we don't have bears down here. That'd make me pretty nervous. You catch a lot of dogs in them, but also had a lot of set-off traps. Maybe a few different sets. Could be an issue. You're fairly new to coyote. Yeah, I get it, Josh. I'm probably about the same level you are then. Not a coyote trapper. I got a lot to learn. But as my trapping career, I guess you'd call it, continues, I want to get more into coyotes. I know my run and gun road ditches are going to be limited for how many years I can do that. Definitely ain't getting any younger and ain't getting any lighter by any means either. So one day I'm going to have to put down my ditch running abilities and start focusing on private ground, going after coyotes and coon that way. Overcast Outdoors. Yeah, I don't trap anything. The only private ground I trapped all last year was when I took those boys with me, trapping some coon and muskrat along creek system. Other than that, I didn't touch any private ground. It was all public road right-of-ways. Yeah, Trapper J. Deer will stomp them too. I've got coyote traps. I've got some Duke 550 Bridger number 2 dogless that I really like. uh, some Duke number 2 square jaws that I kind of like too before they came out the 550s. I probably got 45 coyote traps, but I don't have a lot of permission for private ground, so I don't set a whole lot of them. What kind of mile radius do I run? Like a 20 mile in each direction, or um, I go probably 30 miles in every direction. Uh, but 20 miles of it I set heavy. Once I go outside of that, I know some good areas, but that's what I'm actually wanting to expand on this year. I started with this and I was really, really good. I concentrated, I knew the roads. I grew to this. I'm about here now where I know what I'm doing inside this area. I know all the roads, all the trails, most of the trails, because there's always new ones to find. But once you get out here, I've got certain good spots on that, but there's a lot of unknown areas for me that I need to really work on this year. For me to keep my numbers, to grow my numbers like I want, I have to keep growing my line. I have to keep expanding my territory, have to get bigger and bigger. Uh, so I got a lot of work left to do this year. Last year, the whole road line round trip was 110 miles the first week. So got a lot left to do. Yeah, those no BS traps are pretty good. Kendall makes a hell of a trap. I don't run any of his, but I've messed with them at convention. They're heavy, solid traps. Absolutely nothing wrong with them that I've seen anyway. Really, really good setup. All right, Anthony, have a good night, bud. Yeah, John. I'm not sure how old you are, John, but you got a few years on me, and he still gets out there every year and catches more coon than I am. So you're giving me hope, buddy. You're giving me hope that I got a few more years left in me. But even at only 33, I feel it in my knees and my back and everything else. But my day job too that I have, I'm always on the move, lifting thousands and thousands of pounds a day, and I think that's taken probably more of a toll on my body than actually trapping is. But either way, I'm gonna go as hard as I can until I can't anymore, and then start focusing on coyotes. Or I'm never gonna quit trapping, no matter what. WT can't afford the high dollar canine extremes. You're 49, gonna be 50. Oh, I hope I can still run up and down the ditches like you can when you're 50. Then, man, that's tough. Yeah, you kind of where I'm at, Trapper Jay. You're ready to set steel, even though you're not ready. I'm starting to get mentally ready, but I've got so much stuff to do. So much stuff to do. Now, I don't even know how I'm gonna. Every year I'm like this though. I can't fathom how much work's left to do, and it might always, my wife says I'm the pro of procrastinating. So uh, I'm sure it'll come down to Friday night before pre-staking season that I'm behind and I got a lot of stuff to do. But my season actually starts October 23rd with pre-staking. I think it's 23rd, might be 24th. But 2 weeks before season pre-staking, I got to get out there and get stuff set in the ground. Can't set anything, but I get all my traps staked in the trails. And that's actually probably more fast-paced than actual opening day is, because you're trying to beat your competition to these trails, get the best spots. It's kind of a rush. It's pretty crazy. Overcast outdoors. Have a good night, bud. Outdoor Mike? No, I don't do much cage trapping. If I do, it's for my animal damage control job that I do on the side for groundhogs, raccoon, possum, whatever you need. Possum, you're gonna be 50 in May. Yeah, John. I do the vitamin thing. I'll take multivitamin, vitamin C supplements before season gets here because that's pretty hard on your body. You definitely need something to kind of keep your immune system up. It's very easy to get run down and get sick doing this. What I'm doing. Definitely need to find a way to keep your energy level up. It's not something that's easy to do, but there's ways to do it. Being in shape helps, which I'm pretty well screwed on, but I'll get there. One way or another. It might be the first week that kills me, but I'll be feeling pretty good after that. Yeah, build 5 or 6 more cages. You're 58 and still rolling. Don't plan on slowing down anytime soon. That's awesome, Tracy. I hope you keep going. Ooh, outdoor Mike. That's gonna be a challenge. Catching coyotes in a cage. Not saying it's impossible because I don't know that much about coyotes, but I do know catching coyotes is rather difficult to do in cages from what I've heard from everybody else. Fox are fairly easy to do, but coyotes are a lot more leery. I do know that. So you'll have your work cut out for you on that one, I'm sure. WT trapping, I probably could get some private land if I wanted to, but it would be actually really hard to do. I'm in, one of the biggest deer states in the world. There's so many people that won't let you on their property, especially right during a rut when they have it leased out to actual bow hunters from out of state or just, organizations like Jerry Outdoors. There's all kinds of leases from private people and companies out here that, they got all the hunting rights to. And I probably could get in there trapping, but they're not going to let me come in the 1st of November coming through there when they're bow hunted hard. Um, Yeah, it's so much easier and quicker for me trapping to stay on the roads. If you want to catch numbers, stay close to the truck, stay on the roads, and cover ground. That's the only way to do it to catch big numbers. Uh, I actually learned that from Mark Steck up at Dakota Line. I've watched a lot of his videos, and I learned a lot of how to road line from his videos. And it's true. If you want to catch numbers, stay in the truck, stay moving. That's the best way to do it. Would I have better success on DPs or coil springs for coon? Okay, Josh. For that, well, I don't even know how to answer that. So I pretty much primarily am dry land. I don't touch much water, but if I was to go to the water, I would be 100% invested in 1.5 Duke coil springs. Since I'm not on the water and I'm setting a lot of dry land trails, going from timber to timber or timber to corn, these dog proofs work phenomenal. You can still use the 1.5 blinds in those trails and catch more animals of different species. But for me, speed with these dog proofs, I can run down the trail, have 2 of these set and back in the truck in probably 20 seconds. Versus 1.5 coil, you're going to have to kind of bed it halfway solid, get something over the top of it to hide it a little bit. You're probably looking at 2 or 3 minutes. Just for me, in the dry ground, I want DPs. If I was to go to water, 1.5 Duke coils. Tried the cages for over a month and managed to get one. Nice. That's impressive, Josh. I've never heard of anybody really catching a coyote in a cage before. Judith and Dan, you guys still run deer with dogs. Yeah, that'd be tough to get permission to trap then for sure. Oh, okay, outdoor Mike. That'd be worth a try. I'm curious how that plays out. Internet veteran, thank you. We appreciate the support, man. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. Joel, how we doing? Really, Trapper J, you just set them on top, huh? We didn't do anything with them. I'm not a huge 1.5 blind set guy on dry ground because of that. I just don't have the time to mess with it. I think I'd pick up a lot more fox and even coyotes doing that, and anything else too. But I just haven't messed with it. I love my 1.5 blinds when I hit the water, but just never really did a lot with them on land. That's something I want to try this year to get a little more into. Hey, Jared Volt, how we doing? Trey Muse Outdoors, what's going on? Oh man, never talked so much before. Illegal outdoorsman, how we doing? Boy, nothing says that someone's gonna watch you with a name like that. I like that. Oh shoot. No, this year's gonna be fun. I got a list in my shop of stuff that still needs done yet. Cleaned up the shop today a little bit. You know, the wife and kids have school and work on Fridays. I have Fridays off, so that's kind of my day to work on my stuff and really get the shop cleaned up, get traps prepped. I still got to figure out exactly how many dog proofs I've got. I started cleaning them up today, and I got another tub yet to clean up. But we got, I don't even know. Kind of curious how many I lost last year since I did have quite a bit stolen, which is always frustrating, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Last live, you talked a lot the last 5 minutes. Yeah, it's probably because I had too many of these, for sure. Oh, WT trapping. I think we went through this last time. I appreciate it, man. It's not a shot, but how about a good drink of this? It's a little stouter than normal because I was planning on only having one tonight. So thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Gonna kill that in the first hour. Yeah, I tend to get talking about a subject and I just kind of roll with it. And next thing you know, I can't breathe and I'm hoarse and everything else. Already coughing like crazy. It's pretty bad. Joel Clinton Lockley had a podcast where you talked about stomping his heel into the dirt to create a bed for the 1.5, then covering it where it's available. Seems fast. It does, but it's not. How do I say it? If a 1.5 needs to be bedded, if you're setting it blind, almost like a coyote set would, in my opinion. Probably get different views on that for sure, but if that coon's walking and this is 1.5 bedded, and all of a sudden he comes up here and something moves, he's going to start checking that out. You could catch him, you could not, but it's just, I want that solid, just like I was making a coyote set. So to do that, I'm really going to twist that trap down into the ground. I'm going to put something over it. Trapper J said you don't have to at all by any means. It's just something I've always done. But then again, I don't do that a lot. I very rarely have set blind sets. When I started putting these out there, and I'm mostly a coon trapper anyway, I can run down in that ditch, and boom, set, handful of cat food, stake in the ground. I'm out of there. So it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, there's different ideas with it. Try it, try it and let me know what you think of it. Internet veteran, kill it. Half. How about that? Oh. Whew. Trapper J, you're gonna puke on my line because you're gaining weight fast. I'm 250 pounds, bud. So this might be a test for both of us. Definitely the heaviest I've ever been going into a trapping season, but I don't know how. I tried to watch what I eat, and then, well, hell, Reese's came out with footballs and everything else, and I was just screwed right off the bat. I didn't have a chance. Okay, where was I? Yeah, Travis, we'll make sure we get it on camera. That's why I think it's going to help me a lot this year with that GoPro. Trapper J recommended the chest one. I've had a couple people recommend the chest GoPro. A couple recommend the hat one. Gonna get both and see what I like, but that's going to free up my hands to give a view of how quick I'm trying to run down there. Come up, set a dog-proof trap, get down the road, find another one. I think it'll really help me out quite a bit with that. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good year because when I started filming this last year, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing with a camera, YouTube, or anything like that. I literally had no idea. Trapper J, he's helped me out immensely with this filming stuff, giving me ideas, telling me what I need to do next. So definitely thanks to him because when it comes to this whole computer aspect, I'm terrible, guys. Especially with filming, I struggled with it, but I've learned a lot now. It's going to be fun. Coon Creek, he's helped me out too before. I've picked his brain with a few things, and if it wasn't for these guys, I definitely would not have any clue what I was doing here. Not that I do now, but it definitely helped me out a lot. You're huffing and puffing, walking the line Tuesday. Tell you what, Anthony, our break room at work's on the 3rd floor, and it kills me. We need an escalator or something. It's going to kill me off. Okay, John Wagner, we talked about that a little bit ago. You're going to add the 1.5s in your trails beside the DPs this year. This is my thoughts on it. Are you going to put the DPs on the outside and the 1.5s in the middle? Catch the coon out here, and then catch that fox or coyote in the middle as it's come down. That's probably how I would set it up. But I'm curious what your thoughts on it. I mean, heck, you catch way more coon than I do, so I'm interested. You're 282. Wow. Hey, you know what though? You're freaking 6'8"? I had no idea until I met you up at the NTA when I saw you walking up. I'm like, wow. All right, I thought he was about the same build as me, but no, he's got many, many inches on me. Yeah, Eric, it won't take long for me to get in shape. That's something else, actually, to be honest with you. Every year I try to get in shape for this. It never really works out the way I want it to. But by about the 5th day, you get, I won't say in shape, but kind of becomes muscle memory, running up and down the ditches. You get used to it a lot more. Yeah, Mo. I think I'm going with the GoPro 8. I've talked to Jay about it quite a bit and a few other people, and that seems to be the best bang for your buck right now. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, I get that. Josh, you got more rats. Season's open the 5th of October. And yeah, rat prices are going to be good, man. Rats are going to be your best bang for your buck for sure this year. Bird Brain, you just picked up 3 TS85s. That's my beaver trap go-to. I love them things. Those are awesome traps. Those are awesome traps. Don't make you backspace now, Mo. We talked about that last time too, but I don't remember what we said it was. You told me I was backspacing. I couldn't remember what it was. Okay, John, so you're going to set the 1.5s close to the fence. Just depends, yes. Yeah, that makes sense. I get it. That's what. Yeah, John Wagner. Round is a shape. You're right. I'm definitely getting more round. It is what it is. I'm in my mid-30s now. I'm allowed to be fat and happy, right? Yeah, what would you say his name was? Judith and Dan. Trapper Jay mentioned him the other day. Um, Sasquatch something or something like that. Yeah, okay, there it is. Man, I'm behind on this. Illegal Outdoors, front camera on the nine's good. Anthony likes the 850 Dukes for beaver. Hey, Dredger9, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Have a good night, and we'll catch you later. Josh, you got to head out, duck and goose opener tomorrow morning. Get up in 5 hours. Yeah, you better get out of here, bud. Nah, that's one thing. I'm going to film that too. Our duck season opens up down here. I want to say it's October 9th. Um, I'm actually planning on going out Friday night and camping in my duck hunting spot to beat people to it. That's gonna be a little adventure I've never done, so that's gonna be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it. Snipezilla, yeah. I think it'd be a good time. I think it could help a lot of people out as far as the actual finishing fur goes. Um, just be something. Probably be a Wednesday when the wife and kids are at church. And I get off work, or even if it's still on my vacation time, I'll go out and just go live for about 3 hours, flesh and fur, and answer any questions that anyone comes up with. BJ gonna have some skunks ready for you next weekend. Trapper J, when's Bill coming up? I'm curious on that. Hey, thanks, Mo. John Lentz is in the house. Oh, John's taught me a lot about trapping over the years. I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at without him. That's for damn sure. Yeah, Trapper J. My duck hunt spot, it gets let's just say this. It's probably, I would say, 80 acres, and you'll have 5 or 6 groups on it. So it's best to get there early. Last year I showed up at like 2:30 in the morning, and we were the third group to get there. So we're gonna go in there Friday night. Well, it was gonna be but it's just gonna be me now because my buddy I go with, he's expecting a kid here pretty soon, and he's got uh, um, no expecting father classes that Saturday morning. So just be me by myself, but should be a fun time. Yeah, Jeff, I got a. It's not even a pony keg anymore. Now it's just a keg for a stomach. That's cool, Trapper J. I met Bill here not that too long ago. I think it was this last spring up in Chelsea, Iowa. I had no idea who he was. Like, I knew who he was, but I'd never seen him before. He sat down next to me to eat lunch at a little get together and started talking to him. And wow, it was pretty crazy. I had no idea that I was sitting right next to the owner of Duke Traps at this little powwow. I had even cut it short because I still had a beaver line to run because we had an early spring. WT trapping. Actual opening day of setting steels November 6th, 8 o'clock in the morning. For me, it's going to be October 23rd with pre-staking, though. It's going to take me the full, on my days off, it's going to take me the full 2 weeks to get everything pre-staked. Got a lot of steel to put in the ground this year. A lot more than last year, that's for sure. Trapper J. Yeah, those get to me. Those are my kryptonite. Man, they're tough to walk away from. I just looked at those 850s. Then keep buying your MB 750s for your beaver footholds. What was the price on them, JR Revolt? I'm kind of curious. I know my TS85s are like almost $300 a dozen, so they're up there. They're definitely up there. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season. I definitely got my work cut out for me. Going bigger than ever this year, bigger than last year, and I'm gonna have a strategy in play and try my best not to deviate from it. Uh, every year is so hard, especially once physical and mental fatigue kicks in, to not get lazy, to not want to slow down. It's okay. That trail's not as good as I thought it was gonna be. We're just gonna skip it. No, that trail's good. You're just making excuses. Get out of the truck and you go set that trail. Especially by like the second week, middle of the second week, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and it becomes work. The fun, romantic side of it goes out the window pretty quick, and you're just working. And it's so hard to get to stay motivated mentally. Mentally is the hardest part in trapping for me. For what I'm doing, just pushing as hard as I can, nonstop, just go, 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 and doing the same thing over and over. It wears on me. Um, and I've dealt with it in the past where I'm a lot better than I used to be for sure. I always used to look down there on even like day 5 or day 6, be like, that dog proof's knocked over. I'll just mess with it tomorrow. I'll mess with it tomorrow. Nope. Now I'm forcing myself to get out there, get that trap rebaited, stuck in the ground, and that's how I was missing fur. I wasn't doing that, so I was losing a lot of fur that way. I've changed how I do things, and I'm pushing myself harder, and that's a huge step in producing numbers. Getting past that mental and physical fatigue of just get the day over with. No, you're trapping. Don't just wait for the end of the day. Get out there and trap. Ooh, JR, 340 a dozen. Yeah, John, people don't realize the mental game to push for numbers. Everyone thinks, oh, that physically that's got to be exhausting, and it is. But the mental fatigue of pushing that hard. Me and John, I met him a couple years ago, but he really helped me push this year to the numbers I did get. We text probably almost every day, if not every day for sure. But just say how you doing, what's your numbers at, how many new sets did you get out? Keep going, don't stop. Go set another 20 traps, go find new locations, go push yourself. And that's what it takes if you're going to produce numbers. You've got to keep moving. You've got to keep trapping. You can't just get lazy and wait. Oh, it's too cold today or it's too rainy. I'll just go set more traps tomorrow. No, you go out there now. You go out there now and you keep going. No, a lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, Kansas Trapper. Yeah, that is it's mentally it's tough. Yeah, John. Having a partner, I know you and JD ran a lot of coon line. Uh, I don't know how I'd do with a partner, to be honest with you. Um, Mostly because I'm so anal on my strategies, and I don't know if I watch somebody do something, if I'd have to critique it, just because it's how I am. If it was on my line and wasn't my way, but if I was actually running with somebody on ground that we found together or something, maybe that'd be different. Uh, Mertens ran with me here last year, and he did awesome. Like I wasn't nervous about it, but I was like, oh, he's gonna set some traps. I don't know if he's gonna do it the way I want to, but he did awesome. I mean and it was so nice to having someone that could check one side of the road while I was on the other. Especially opening day, because he rode with me. He set traps with me, and then checked the first day with me. Was all he did, but that was very very amazing, actually. Not having to do everything by myself. That's something I'm not used to because normally it's 100% by myself running these things. So it's definitely nice having Mertens riding with me for sure. You run about 30 traps last season, hopefully more this year. Yeah, it doesn't. People don't have to run the type of line I do by any means. I keep telling that these people that run what you're capable of doing. Uh, Actually, I'll bring this up now. I met a kid at the NTA. He was actually on my. Uh, he's a follower on my channel anyway. This kid's going to college, not that far from me. His name's Luke, and he actually I can't remember how many coon he caught last year. I want to say it was like 200 of them, and he had 2 torn meniscus in football, and he was still out there trapping every day with after having surgery done on both his knees. Uh, it's pretty incredible. He reached out to me at the NTA. He told me where he's going to college because this is his first year of college, and it turns out he's pretty close to me. So, I reached out to him and said, "Hey, let's get together sometime." I took him up to Central City for the Fur Takers event up there, and we kind of hit it off and talked to him a little bit. He's going to college full time, playing football, and he's worked out strategies to where he can run a drowning setup because here in Iowa we can run extended check on drowners, where he's going to have like, I don't know what his numbers are, 50 or 60 traps on drowners that he'll go home every Sunday night and check some on the way home, and then Monday morning check so many on the way back to school, and then Wednesday or Thursday run that route again to and from. And this kid's got a goal of like, I can't remember what he said, 400 or 500 coon while going to school, playing football full time. Tell you what, this kid's going to surpass me when it comes to numbers one day. He's got the drive like I've never seen before, and it's pretty impressive, watching that happen. It's there's still kids out there that want to trap, and that's our job to promote this, to get people aware of what we're doing. And honestly, he's probably given me more inspiration to push myself harder. Watching, he's 19 years old and just in the prime of his life and ready to go, ready to hit the gates running. And it's kind of boosted my my drive even more. Just watching him and how passionate he is for it, it kind of reminds me why I'm doing all this. So it's fun to see. Really looking forward to watching his season unfold. It's going to be a good time. He's a really good kid. I told him no matter what, though, do not let your school suffer. Schoolwork first. You have the rest of your life to trap, but focus on school first. And as I told him, I'll help him any way I can as long as your school doesn't suffer. If your schoolwork starts suffering, then you're then I'm going to back off and let you focus on that first. No, John, I wouldn't say that at all, man. You do have a terrific family that helps you, though. That's awesome. If I remember right, your oldest daughter might not be around this year because she just had a kid, if I remember right. It's just you, Sammy, your wife, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, bud. Yeah, Trapper Jay. If you skip a day, you're screwed the next day. I'm going to try to keep the numbers of that first week. I'm going to try to keep probably between 80 and 100 coon days. Luckily, I have a skinner for that first week. But even when I'm in my 30s and 40s, when I'm by myself without a skinner, if I skip a day because I'm tired or ready for bed, that next day you got double that. That's a lot of work. You got to stay on top of it. Illegal outdoors. You only legally able to run 20 traps. I'm curious. Yeah, outdoor Mike. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it'll wear you out. So what's my excuse? Uh, Overweight. I don't know. No, it was disappointing last year. I feel bad, but yeah, Trapper J, I get that. Um, Ryan, he's got the trapper's heart. He's got I've talked to him about it before. He's okay with me saying it, but he's got spinal bifida and he's in a wheelchair permanently. But that kid has more heart and drive as a trapper than probably anybody I've ever seen. He keeps pushing hard to hit 100 coon in a part of Iowa that honestly I'd probably be lucky myself to hit 200 coon. And he's going to do it all out of a wheelchair and basically crawling up and down road ditches. Uh, Definitely hats off to him. He's got the heart of a true trapper, that's for sure. He's not going to quit until he gets it, and I respect him for that for sure. Hey, Mark, how we doing? Yeah, Trapper J. Yeah, it's going to be some good numbers for him. I think I know what he's doing. Oh, John, your daughter had twins. Okay, yeah, yeah. So it's going to be you, Sammy, and your wife, I believe. But I don't know. I tell you what. I mean, even Sammy, she's young, but I'll tell you what. I think she's going to outrun both of us one day. You've definitely raised him right. That's for sure. Hey, Beer Pearson, how we doing? Hey, okay. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, how's the Lexington going? How's the Nebraska going? I'm curious about that. Luke, honestly, yeah, school first, bud. But one day I fully expect you to outrun me in a heartbeat. You've got that drive, man. You've got that passion, and that's kind of why I reached out to you. I have so many people reach out to me online and Facebook, and very few people know me personally, as far as my name and where I'm at. Just for safety purposes. I've had so many death threats to my family and stuff from anti trappers, and when you reached out to me when I met you at the NTA, I kind of read who you were, and I knew you're a good person, so that's why we did what we did. But really looking to see how you do this year, man. It's going to be tough, but like I said, as long as you focus with school first, sky's the limit, man. And I'm here to help any way I can, buddy. Eric, the first week I do have a Skinner. That is a huge advantage. Uh, Actually, I had him last year. I didn't have him on my year that I had 1,082. I was by myself because he'd torn his meniscus in his knee like 2 weeks before trapping season or something like that. But I did have him the year before when I was at oh shoot, what was my number? 714 or something like that. He helped me with, but yeah, he's definitely gonna be here this year. I've already talking to him, you know, kind of worked out some numbers with him, and he's ready to help me. So yeah, Anthony, it's not for sure. Ashley B, it's your first year trapping. You'd be happy to put up any numbers. Uh, well, I'll tell you what, if you're first year trapping, get on Facebook if you're not already and look up some of the trapping pages. There's a lot of good trapping pages out there. Um, Iowa Trapper, Midwest Traditions. I have actually got one out there called So You Want to Be a Trapper. It's focusing on the very start of trapping. If you have no idea what trapping is, I encourage you to check it out. It's going over the very beginning basics. Um, and it's lined with some really knowledgeable trappers. People that are way better than me that that are willing to help out with any question you have. Uh, some of these pages have it frustrates me, but some of these pages, a newbie can ask a question that might be common sense to me or to many of you, but it's not to someone that's new. And people tear them down, and I do not like that at all. I created the So You Want to Be a Trapper site for people that can ask any. You can go in there and ask, "Is this a possum or a raccoon?" And no one's going to tear you apart because if you're asking an honest question, they're going to give you an answer and not tear you apart for it. Uh, so go check it out. Might help you out quite a bit. All right, Luke. Take care, bud. Yeah, John, you do good work, my man. And New York Yankees win. I don't follow baseball at all, so I don't even know what's going on with it. Hey, thanks, Ilsman. I appreciate it. Why am I now known as Tim? I don't understand that at all. Hey, legal outdoorsman. Have a good night, bud. Yeah, outdoor Mike. I actually made a whole video on that on my channel, talking about how we need to quit tearing each other down. So many trappers tear each other apart. So many outdoorsmen tear each other apart. We've got so many big battles on our hand right now. It's not even funny. Um, People belittling each other, discouraging new trappers, new hunters, new fishermen, whatever it is, and we can't do that. I'll say it right here. I hate to say it, but we are a dying breed. Trappers are a dying breed. We're not. There's so many people that don't. How do I say it? There's so many youth that are uneducated in this, and we're not willing to educate them. We want to take everything to the grave with us, and that's not right. We need to share stuff, uh, help people understand what we're doing, help the world understand what trapping is. This isn't the what PETA thinks of us. It's that's not how trapping really is. As far as I know, pretty much every state's outlawed the jawed trap or the teeth traps and stuff like that. It's not that way anymore. Trappers are ethical, humane, but people don't see that. The antis get to them first because there's more of them, and we're too busy arguing with ourselves and fighting amongst ourselves of pumping our chest and belittling each other that there's so many more battles we need to fight and we need to stick with that. And it that's a subject that really frustrates me. It's tough, really bothers me. Yeah, Jeep, like yeah, exactly. Alaska, I'm gonna hit 1,000 on camera. That's my goal still. As far as I know, I've had several people reach out to me and tell me if I were to hit that, I'd be the first person to that they know of to hit it on camera on YouTube. So that's my goal. Lexington has some great demos, interesting setup in horse arena on dirt floor. Sounds like not a ton of people, but vendors were fairly happy because people were buying. That's good. That's good, Brad. I appreciate that. Sounds like Lexington's going all right, just not a great show yet. Exactly, outdoor Mike, 100%. Hey, thanks, Cameron. I appreciate it. Mo, that's on Facebook. Um, yeah, it on Facebook is the groups that are mostly doing that, as far as I've seen. Yeah, Jason, exactly. There's fewer and fewer people out there doing it. Hey, Adventures James, how we doing? Absolutely outdoor, Mike. I took time out last year in my big road line to take some kids that wanted to go trap, and I set some private ground where it's safe for them to get out. And did it cost me anything? Probably not. But no matter what, I was going to take time to go out and do it. Show the kids what trapping is, educate them. Even if they're not trappers, they'll know what it is. All right, guys, I gotta go drain the main vein, and I'm probably gonna make another drink. So I'll be right back. All right. Whew. So we're out of Pepsi, so we're gonna make a rum and Mountain Dew. So that'll be interesting. Oh, there's a lot of stuff said that I was gone. John, pick a date right now. That's gonna be when I break 1,000. I got big plans this year. I think I'm gonna hit it, but hit it sooner than I think. If everything goes as planned, honestly, I'd love to hit 1,000 by Thanksgiving. Sounds pretty extreme, but what I have going on, the new road line that I've got planned, you know, I've got one spot where I'm going to be driving almost 2 hours away on a road line, so that's going to be huge for me. I hope it works out. I hope it works out. LNS Outdoors, how are we doing? I think there's more people and kids tomorrow in Lexington working school day today. Yeah, that's true. Brad, I hope Lexington works out for them. They need a good convention out there. Yeah, Trapper J. A lot of the real trap, I shouldn't say real trappers, but guys that are pros or at least call themselves pros, they charge a lot of money to ride on their line. And I don't really let people ride on my line, but I'll share anything that I have or know with anybody. Uh, I'm not any information I have, I'm willing to share because we need to get the kids involved. Not even kids. I don't know how old Ashley was that posted on here, but she said it's her first year. Doesn't matter if you're 18 or 55. If it's your first year trapping, I want to help you. That's the whole reason I started this was to help people. Uh, it when I caught 1,000 2 years ago, I got so much crap from people saying, "Oh, it must be nice to be single," or "It must be nice to not have a job." And I have both of those things. I have a family and a full-time job, and I still did it. People can do things that they don't think they can. They've just got to push themselves past what they think is a limit. It's just, sorry, I went off on a sidetrack, but we've got to share our sport, guys. We have to. Just a matter of time before we die out completely if we don't. So it's up to us. Outdoor Mike, exactly. Trapping's gonna disappear if we don't do anything. I've thought about mounting a GoPro and a LED spotlight to the top of your truck. No, I haven't really done that. Uh, Trapper J's definitely gave me some really good ideas as far as angles and filming and stuff goes this year. Uh, he's definitely one that's going to help me out with learn when he's here for that first day. I'm going to learn a lot from him on watching how he films and what he does. So that's going to be really a learning experience for me. Let a friend stay a week with you, put him on Bobcats and Coyotes, then you got screwed. Yeah, LNS. That's the thing. Nice people always finish last. Uh, I've kind of learned my lesson that this last year with a fellow trapper. It's going to come back and bite me, and it already has in a way. So, but in a way, it's going to make me become a better trapper because I'm going to have to push harder and keep learning and improving myself. So, I've heard a lot of people that take people on their lines and teach them stuff and get screwed. So we're not the first people. It's it happens, but definitely a lesson learned. Uh, and everyone should understand that. Wow, I'm way behind. I didn't realize I scrolled up. Yeah, Trapper J, they're talking about an early snow. That could be something that really get me in trouble. John Wagner, you'll probably have 1,000 by the first week if I know you and your family. You're sitting in a booth in Lexington in the morning. Let me know how that goes, buddy. I'm kind of intrigued. Yeah, Trapper J. Oh, yeah, Anthony's got a good point. Go live at it. Let me know. Let everybody see what's going on. Outdoor Mike, you started your channel to keep a promise to a mentor of mine who's passed away. I asked him how I could ever repay him, and he said, "Just teach someone else." That's awesome, man. That's the thing. We've got to keep passing this on. We're in so much trouble if we don't. Yeah, Trapper J. That's kind of they go to your farmers and try to get your spots. Well, problem is I'm all public, so when I show somebody my spots, they could just take them. It's just bottom line, and that I don't think it's going to come to that, but I know it's going to get ugly. I know it's going to get ugly. Yeah, Mo, you're right. Uh, Learned a valuable lesson. Um, wish everybody the best of luck no matter what. But I've definitely learned that I'm not going to show my exact locations to anybody anymore. Uh, and my direct competition, I'll help them out in a way, but at the same time, when we're competing, my main competition, he's a good friend of mine, and we work really well together. We actually literally went down a road and jumped each other to outset the other person on a road a couple years ago. I mean, like there they are, 100 yards ahead of us. Let's 0 to 60 in 4 seconds to get past them. There's another trail ahead of them, 40 yards. We're gonna set that sucker and run down there and beat them to it, and then they leapfrog me, and it got pretty intense for a while. I thought we were gonna have some pit maneuvering action going on, but at the end of the day, we called each other, asked how we did, what we got set, and really good dude. Look forward to. He made me a really good trapper when I started road lining. He was my competition. He was the guy that competed in these areas, and no one really had pressed him as far as for his size. He's running 300 traps, and the biggest person around here, and that was 20 or 30. So when I started growing and growing, we finally intercepted each other, and hell of a nice guy. I work really well with him. But yeah, we're competition, and we're going to do anything we can to get the edge on the other one. But at the end of the day, we're always going to call each other, talk to each other about how the day went, talk strategies. Some people are like that, and some people aren't. Some people are going to take your strategies and advice and use them against you. So just how it is. You do your demo at 4 p.m. Probably won't be anyone there. I forgot about that. Yeah, Trapper Jay's doing a demo in Lexington tomorrow. Uh, that's gonna be a big one, bud. But don't worry about it. You know what you're doing. It's all that matters. Your grandfather taught you, and will be teaching my kids as well. Absolutely, Jeep, for sure. Oh, that's cool, Jason. Yeah, outdoor mic. I'll show my actual location on the roads, but most people don't know exactly where I'm at. So that's kind of a something that helps me. But yeah, Jay, when prices were high in 2013, I didn't necessarily have competition, but I had theft. I had a bunch of guys hopping in a truck Friday night with a case of beer, driving around spotlighting ditches, and I think that's the year that I had coon that were in my traps but already skinned. That was pretty terrible. It's pretty frustrating when you come up to a trap and there's a skinned carcass in your trap. Just people are up to no good, but that's something you have to deal with, especially when prices are high. And it's something I've learned to factor in that I'm not going to let it bother me. When I come up to a spot, okay, traps are gone. Okay, let's move on. New spot. Let's go. Let's keep pushing. If you sit there and let it eat at you and tear at you, now your head's not in the game. Now you're not thinking more sets. You're not thinking clearly because you're pissed. You're frustrated, and you got to think clear if you're gonna really keep going after numbers. It's tough. And I know a lot of people really struggle with it, but it's just something that you gotta accept and move on. I don't remember my number from last year, but I lost probably about 25 or 30 traps from theft, and doesn't it sounds like a lot, but for my size of line, it's not terrible. I plan on 10% theft every year. Every single year, I plan on 10% theft. So when I come up, that trap's gone. Okay, move on. It's gone now. It doesn't even cross my mind from that point on. Nothing I can do about it. So it's just part of it. The biggest thing for you is the motivation and drive that pours out of me between you and Clint Lockyer. That's what, yeah, determination and drive and stuff like that. That is what separates a lot of people. Not just in trapping, but in general. If you want something, you've got to push yourself hard enough to accomplish it. Whether that's some big work assignment at work that your boss wants you to put something together in 2 weeks, and you got to do it, or with trapping or hunting, what you get put into it's what you're going to get out of it. And a lot of people, I feel like, fall short in life. They make excuses for themselves of why they couldn't do something or can't do something. And not everybody, but there's plenty of people that do it that way. They're looking for an easy way out, and that's too bad, because the more you push yourself, the more pride you have in yourself. After last year for me, I looked back. Am I disappointed in it? To some expectancy, yes. But I know I ran my ass off. I tried. There were things I could have done different, done better. Absolutely. And every year I learn that. And every year I push harder and make those adjustments and get better. Just as a trapper. And that's the way everybody should be just in life. Learn, accept your defeats and move on. If you always won and always hit your goal, then it wasn't a very good goal. You need to fall short from time to time to, keep you humble, know what you're actually fighting for. Yeah, Anthony, all I'm using is Dukes. 100% Dukes for me. Brad, Trapper J, you're gonna make Brad's day tomorrow. So if you guys haven't met, make sure you go down there and meet him, Brad. Um, just look for the what do you say, 280-pound guy that's like 7'4" or something. I don't know. He keeps getting taller as I drink, I think. But yeah, Eric, you took a few ice fishing with you last year. They were there. Yep, I get it. I get it. Anthony, you're using the best then. Yeah, yeah, you're 100% right, Anthony. It's just how it goes. Your daughter's in FFA in high school. She's giving assignment to run on a related business. She was given an option to run a trapping and fur outfit. Pretty cool for today. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Eric, what's a lot of money wasted? I'm curious. Oh yeah, absolutely, Jason. You've got to have bad days in life. It's gonna keep you. It's gonna show you. Excuse my language, but this world's a cruel, ugly bitch. She really is, and you're gonna get your ass kicked from time to time. You really are. So you need days like that to really appreciate the good days. I've set two goals in my trapping career of catching 100 in a day and 1,000 in a season. I've been very fortunate to hit both. Um, I've had days where I thought, all right, this is day. I think what was it? It was 2 years ago before I was filming. No, not 2 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago. I had high hopes. It's gonna be a great day, and we had like an inch and a half of snow the first night of trapping season, and I think I had like 12 coon or something the first night. Terrible for what I was running. It might have been longer than that. Heck, time blurs together now. But I mean, I had big hopes of 80 to 100 coon, and it'll bring it down to earth real quick. I mean, the next day, I recovered pretty good with like a mid 50s or 60 coon, but Tell you what, not everything's going to go the way it's supposed to. I've learned that definitely trapping. I've struggled and I've had some amazing accomplishments. And, this this here was one of my biggest bobcats I've ever caught. He's uglier than sin, but I was so ecstatic to see him, and I'd never even, I knew bobcats were here, but few and far between. And that's just what trapping does for us, guys. Getting upside down here. This was my first badger that I've ever caught in my life. I didn't even know we had badgers in Iowa until I caught this in 2010, 2011. I had no idea badgers were here. You want to talk about a young kid on cloud nine seeing something like this in a 220? That was amazing. And since we're on the subject of highs, my first coyote trap I ever set. Tractor. Very first coyote set I ever set. You want to talk about discouraging? There's a low. I had 3 of these, I think, when I started coyote trapping. So for a young kid, that was a pretty big, not just financial hit, but hits my ego too. So it's just part of it. Yeah, no, Trapper J, yeah, 30-day traps. It sounds like a lot, but for what I'm doing though, it's really not. And I have learned to just get past it. It's just move on. Adventures James, you're going to start trapping beaver for your local fish and game. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, Anthony, the world it's tough. Ashley, what can you do to limit trap theft on public land? That's going to be tough. I wish I had a good answer for you, but I don't. If I was you, find some private ground and get permission. That's the best way to start, in my opinion. Get on a farmer or maybe a family friend that's a farmer or just has 40 acres and get your feet wet that way. That's how I would do it anyway. That's how I did do it, actually. So public land, unless it's an area that, isn't hunted much for pheasants or deer, you're going to have a lot of traffic through there. And the one thing I will say is if you start trapping it for anything, be there at sunup every morning to check traps. Do not wait until afternoon or after work or school or whatever it is, you're doing. Get there early. You're going to need to. You're happy with 200 coon. You're tired of skinning them. Well, we're going to be in between those numbers opening day when you come up here. Ugh. Hey, Trapper J, I was, probably 17 when I did that. So it's part of it. Yeah, a lot of people don't go after coon anymore. I'm one of those people that just doesn't know any better. He just doesn't want to walk away from it. He loves trapping coon, and it's hard to say no. It's just who I am. I'm a coon trapper, regardless of the prices. And that's another thing I want to touch base on here soon. Once we get caught up on comments again, I'm terrible at this stuff. John, you do long cables, drove deep with wolf fangs, cut down on theft. Yeah, I do that with my pogos, but I have that big loop on top that people tend to take traps off, or they just cut them. I've had a lot of stuff just cut, so I think it's the local farmers, that have the pliers with them or something, because that cable's never cut clean. It's kind of torn, which makes me think they got some pliers to it. Hide them well. Use binoculars. Check them as you drive by. Less obvious. Outdoor Mike, my road line. Trapper J is going to see it. I've literally got traps that are half the catch circle is in the road. I'm pretty open about it. So when I lose a few, that's probably one of the reasons I'm not too upset about it. Trapper Jay, you didn't have to do that, buddy. I appreciate that, man. Uh, I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at with the YouTube if it wasn't for you helping me out and showing me the computer stuff and the filming. The stuff we've talked about for opening day this year of ideas that you've thrown at me, it's stuff I never thought of. So I'm really looking forward to that. So thanks, man. I appreciate it. You're a good guy. Adventure of the James, you've yet to lose a trap. That's pretty impressive. When you do lose one, and I'm sorry to say, but when you lose one, because you will, don't let it tear you to pieces. Don't quit. Um, keep pushing. Go out there and maybe move all your traps or whatever you gotta do, but don't quit because it will happen, and you just got to get past it. Jeep, actually, yeah, on public ground, you're gonna have issues with that. Um, you're gonna you're gonna have issues with tracks. People follow your tracks and stuff. It sucks, but it's the truth. Um, I'm actually gonna film a little more on that of some of my sets that aren't so obvious how I'm trapping them on the road. If I've got a trap here, I'm not going down the gravel road and going like this. I'm starting here and I'm easing over to that the whole time. Uh, and even when I get out, I'll leapfrog. If it's wet, like if we had a rain, I don't want to leave footprints in the road. So I'll actually climb on the box of my truck to the back of it and then jump off in the road ditch or on a clump of mud or sod that the graders dug up so they don't see footprints in it. Do whatever I can to avoid that. But at the same time, I've got a lot of spots where I've got coon bouncing halfway in the road. So just depends where I'm at, where I've had theft before and learned my lesson. Always taking notes, always improving. That's kind of what we do. John, the coyote market's tough right now, man. Shoot me a text tomorrow because I got some information for you too. I'm going to be moving a load of beaver and coyotes here pretty soon. So give me a text tomorrow, bud. But the western coyotes are good. Our good coyotes are going to fall in the very low category of the western coyotes. But if you have a coyote with a rub neck or anything around here this year, it's going to be really rough. It's going to be really rough. Matter of fact, I think my buyer was supposed to call me yesterday, and he hasn't. But um, we're gonna get some stuff moved here, mostly so I can free up some funds for sure. So it's gonna be rough. Sorry, John. Wish I had better news, but we're gonna we're gonna move some cows for what we can. It's a little easier with cages to hide them. Trap circles are a bit more obvious. Yeah, outdoor mic for sure. Catch circles draw a lot of attention to it for sure. Adventures James, have a good night, bud. You're putting an effort to catch a thief. Maybe after I catch him and take him out, all my frustration on him will be able to not worry about theft. I've got one spot on my line, and you guys probably call me fools for doing this, but every single year for 3 years now, I've had all my traps pulled up in this section. It might not be on the first day, but within the first week, all my traps get pulled up off the ditch and set on the shoulder. And it's a good stretch. I think last year was like 18 traps. They didn't take them, but they pull them all out. This next year, let's just say they will get caught. I've pretty much had a guarantee from the local law enforcement that will come to a stop. So it's going to be kind of fun. I highly doubt they're going to let me film this escapade, but it'd be interesting if they did. Need bail money, Trapper J. He probably will after what he does. I wouldn't mess with him. He's a big boy. So here's the thing with theft, guys. literally, I've talked about a little bit here, but when I was younger, theft used to just eat at me. I mean, boil my soul in a way. I mean, I would just, if I caught him, I'd be afraid of what I'd do to him. Like literally, uh, theft was terrible, and I honestly got to a point where I was like, maybe we can take another big trap to catch a thief. When they see a trap that they're coming to take, maybe we could just set something before they get there. And I was all honestly to a point where it's like, I'm not afraid to do this. But I thought, you know what? It's not worth it. Not worth it. And I finally learned as I grew to just accept it as part of it. It sucks when you know who these people are and you don't have any physical proof, which is what I was doing when I was younger. Uh, the instance I'm kind of talking about, I think I had 60 dog proofs at the time, and I had one guy get on my line and take me for 24. So he took almost half my line over about a 2-mile stretch, and I knew exactly who it was when he tried to sell my traps with my anchors to my competition. Pretty frustrating ordeal. I won't go into details on too much of it of what happened afterwards, but I was, rage, just saw red, and it was frustrating. But ever since then, I've learned to just accept you're gonna lose some to theft, to high water, to in a line like I am, once in a while you're gonna forget one. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. And you gotta really keep detailed records on your GPS and notebook and know what is where, what traps are where. You've got to keep track of this stuff. Um, but yeah, traps are going to come up missing. It's just bottom line when you're road trapping for sure, no matter what. Someone put a rock inside one of your cages. Yeah, Jeep. DNR is going to be involved this year for sure. Uh, yeah, it is a hefty charge messing with the sportsman. I'm not sure exactly what the charge is for tampering with traps, but it's right there along close to a felony here in Iowa. It's huge. It is theft, so it's a pretty big deal. I'm hoping, I'm a pretty decent person, so I hope that if the DNR catches these people and they know who they are and ask if I want to press charges, I probably won't, but I'm going to tell them this is not going to happen again. Because if I have anything missing like that again, I will press charges. Uh, I don't want to be a prick about it, but this stuff's got to stop. Yeah, no, they don't. Trapper J, they don't mess with anything of mine from pre-staking to season. I never have a trap missing in 2 weeks that I set it beforehand. After season starts is when I have all the problems. I'll let you know what I'll do if I catch them. I'm pretty sure we're going to see it on like Fox News, Trapper J. I don't think we're going to have an issue with you telling us. I think it's going to be pretty public. John, yeah, I don't think I'd want to be hit by a bat from her either. But, John, you catch more coon than I do. You know how it is. You're going to lose stuff. It sucks and you hate it. But if you sit there and mentally think about it, it's going to ruin your day. It's going to ruin your progress. As soon as you get to the end of the line, you're done. You're already mentally pissed off and you're frustrated and it's over. And you can't do that. You got to keep mentally pushing forward. And it's hard. Oh, John. Okay, Sammy's with you. Yeah, internet veteran for sure. Hooked 87. If I was ever going on a trapping trip, if South Dakota opened up rat season to out of staters, I would be there in a heartbeat in the spring. I'm on a trapping site called IowaTrappersTalk.com. It's just a chat room. It's not Facebook or YouTube or anything. IowaTrappersTalk.com. There's a guy on there that went up there with a trailer, a bunch of traps, a freezer, and a generator, and a cot in a trailer, and just started muskrat trapping out of a trailer. I can't remember what he did, but it was like 2 weeks. He caught like 3,000 muskrats, and that was my ultimate dream until they shut down the out of state trapping for South Dakota. That's pretty frustrating. Yeah, Trapper J. If it's stolen on private, I'd be pretty upset. It'd be harder to tolerate. I'm not sure, Anthony, if it's federal offense or not, but it's up there. I mean, it's a huge deal. Oh, Oregon is a federal offense. Yay, Keith Logue. How we doing, buddy? Haven't seen you post yet. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of sign popping up. Our frost got pushed back, it sounds like, but when we get some frost, it's really gonna change things. uh, yeah, John, the cost of doing business. Sammy will get there. Yeah, she's young yet, and I'm glad to see her passionate about it, but yeah, it's gonna happen. Fish hunt, trap, repeat. This one person went out of their way to steal one of my traps. They must really needed it. Yeah, that's frustrating. That's really frustrating. It's part of it, but it doesn't make it any easier. You move a trap every week, outdoor Mike? Yeah, Eric, I think that's a lot of it. People don't realize that traps are out there for season. Uh, and at the same time, you don't have this huge catch circle for me that's about 6 foot in diameter. Um, that really hits it on the head. Hooked 87. You're in North Dakota. Does I gotta ask you, is the muskrat population as good up there as it was in South Dakota? I know on the very eastern edge of South Dakota, the muskrat population is crazy high. It keeps the theft down, keeping them on the move. It's the better Dakota. I used to use white or pink marking paint when I left my traps. I rarely ever had one stolen, but I would forget where I would leave them until I started marking. Yeah, and that's the thing. Hell, I got a notebook right here. If any of you watched my season unfold, um, my notebook looks something similar like this. Okay, so as I'm marking my stuff on my GPS, I just mark numbers. But as I drove down the road, okay, so stop one would be 2 dog proofs on one side and one on the other. Not sure if this is different for you guys, but I'd have 2 dog proofs, which for me would be the left side, one on the right side. Stop 2, 1 dog proof on the right side, 220 on the left. Stop 3 might be just 220 on the right side or the left side. That's how I run my whole setup. This notebook stays in my truck. Actually, once I get these pre-staked, I throw these in plastic sleeves so they don't get dirty and run them out of my notebook. That way I can flip through the pages. Stop 147 is 2 dog proofs one side, 220 on the other side. And I know exactly what is where at all times. That is a huge benefit for me. Once I started doing that, I didn't lose hardly anything. Yeah, Keith, you're close to me, but what I would do, everything's going in the ground for me. With pre-staking, I'm taking, I got my trap. I think I got an anchor over here too. Yeah, I'm taking my pogo anchor, my dog proof, whatever it is. I got these in back of the truck all set up already. I'm going out there, staking this in the ground. I'll go ahead and stick this right in the trail unset. I might lay it down or put it off to the side if I'm in a high theft area, but I'm putting everything in the ground October 23rd through 24th. I think it's 23rd. Whatever Saturday is, 2 weeks before season. I'm getting everything out there. So, yeah, and it's a huge game changer. Because if I was just if I went out opening day to set traps unstaked, I'd honestly probably be lucky to have 150 traps out. But by having these pre-staked, ready to go. I literally run down in the ditch. This thing's already set. Come up, boom, set. Throw my dog proof in, my cat food in there. I'm ready to go. I can have 2 of these set and baited literally 25 seconds if it's just on one side of the road. That's how I'm going to get out, 350 traps this year on opening day, is because everything's pre-staked. Thanks for asking that, Keith. That's something I probably haven't touched on here for a while. Now I lost track where I was. Yeah. Like John said, for sure. Dude named John in northern Iowa. He slays large numbers of coon. Depends what John you're talking about, bud. One John that's on here already, he's not in northern Iowa, but I do know a John in northwestern Iowa that he doesn't trap coon anymore, but when he did, he was catching big numbers. Especially for northern Iowa, it's pretty impressive. John, you use 1 page per stop. I'm curious. Outdoor mic. A lot of people use the Onyx. There's nothing wrong with it, but for me, I lose service way too much to be able to count on it. There's certain spots I trap where I'll be 15 miles of no phone service. If anything were to ever happen, I'd be in big trouble. All right, Trapper. Hey, shoot me a text tomorrow about that if you remember. I got a couple ideas who you're talking about, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, okay, that John. Yeah, I know that John quite a bit. He's a hell of a muskrat trapper too. Definitely catches a lot of muskrats up there. I've talked to him quite a bit. Not so much this year, but last year quite a bit. He's a pretty good dude, pretty good guy. My fur buyer really talks highly of him too. So, Chris, you've never pre-staked. If it's legal, do it. If you want to run a bigger line, for sure, do it. Wish you could put 1 traps unset before season in Illinois. Yeah, it's every state's different. Every state's different. I'd like to think you still have hills of rats. If you probably know, the drought has raised hell with the sloughs. I'd say 75% of the huts are high and dry. Yeah, we don't have any rats down here because of the drought. If we have some in some of these creeks, I'll be pretty surprised. Even though the creeks that never go dry are going dry this year. So I don't know if that motivates me more to go down some of these bigger creek systems that are drier now. You can almost, walk across them and, ankle boots if they made such a thing. But yeah, something about me and water just doesn't mix. But I got some big plans for late season that I hope work out. They're not set in stone yet, but if so, you're going to be seeing me catch quite a few mink later in the year if it works out. That's the plan anyway. We do the same as you, however, put 1 location per page and use the remainder of the page for lure and bait catches. Yeah, so you keep track of all your catches then, John, of what you caught on that spot, what day. I started doing that a little bit too. I like that idea. Keep track of your location, see which ones produce the best over a period of time. Kind of a big thing, especially if you're going to keep setting that spot repeatedly. Okay, Chris. Yeah, if you're wanting to catch any type of numbers, I would pre-stake. But you don't have to do numbers. If you just want to catch, say you want to catch 10 coon opening day or even 20 coon opening day, you don't have to pre-stake. There's no reason for it. The only reason for pre-staking is if you want, 50, 60, 70 coon on your first day, then I'd highly suggest pre-staking. And you don't have to start 2 weeks in advance. If you want 50 coon, you want to put out 150 traps, pre-stake the week before. Or take Friday off work the day before and pre-stake 3/4 of it. Then set those in the first, 2 hours of Saturday and then take the next 4 hours to find the rest of your line. There's several ways to do it. It's all about what you want to do, bud. Yeah, John, he slays muskrats. He's a hell of a trapper. Oh, you were, Jay? Last I knew, he sold most of his on carcass. So I don't know. I don't know how that worked out for you, but these boots are made for walking. Flipping fish suggestions on where to sell fur. Um, it's gonna be a crapshoot this year. I know I'm holding on to all my fur from last year until this next spring. Just I got a hunch that coon prices are going to come up a little bit this year. Not anything crazy, but if I can get a couple of dollar average higher, that would be great. But I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm still holding on to everything from last year, and hopefully have everything done this year. If by April or May prices were to come up a couple bucks, but I really got nothing on that. There's several places. Groenwald buys fur. He's kind of the big guy. I won't say anything bad about Groenwald's, but the only thing I will say, they're strictly a business. And if they do become the only monopoly, we are in trouble as strappers, because then prices can do whatever they want to, and they're still going to pay you $3 a coon because you have nowhere else to go. That being said, they've grown a hell of an enterprise. They know what they're doing, and they can they buy a lot of fur, and that they've done good, hell of a business for them. But just I prefer a buyer of more of a personal note. I would share my buyer's name, but he wants to be kind of private. But he's the type of buyer that when he goes on a family vacation, he sends me a picture of his kids, you know, petting the goat at the local zoo. And that's the kind of person I want to deal with as far as a fur buyer. Someone I can just, text and say, hey, not worried about fur right now, but how's life? How's everything going? How's the wife? Stuff like that. And that's the type of person I would do business with. Just a personal thing. But there are several buyers out there here in Iowa. You got Bill at Northeast Iowa Fur Exchange, I think is where he's at. There's another one up there. Not Bill Drulo. There's a couple buyers left in Iowa here. Not a whole lot, but there's a couple left. But yeah, other than that, you got Groenwald, in our neighboring state in Illinois. There's a few places left. Yeah, John, I'll bet you do. Oh, you keep track of misses too? I never would have thought of that. I'll have to shoot you a message how I do mine with the catches. I didn't do it last year because filming, but I'm going to try and do it this year, so we'll see. Chris Seahouse, you only want to catch one. You're not starting until the 7th. I have a wedding in Des Moines on the 6th. Okay. Is this your first year then, Chris? I'm kind of curious. Or is that just, you just want to catch one every year? Kind of curious what you want there. Dan, will I get graded as stale fur? No, I will not. The reason being, I got all my fur in my walk-in, what is a freezer, turned down to a cooler to store it. Compress everything tight. Things aren't just hanging around in room temperature all year long. And actually, your local fur buyers probably aren't going to grade stale anyway. It was more of I could be wrong on this, but more of an auction house thing where they'd come up with an excuse to downgrade it. I've had fur sell 3 years old that graded the same. It's just part of it. ANC Trap Line, you met John and talked to you for a couple hours at Central City. Hey, ANC Trapline, I'm curious who you are now, though. You have to shoot me a message on Facebook because maybe you told me already, but I drink too much on these things. But Central City was a good time. I had a lot of fun at that. That was my first demo in front of adults at Central City at the Fur Takers event there. Pretty good time. I was pretty nervous as hell, but it was fun. Yeah, Judith and Dan. The Iowa Trapper Association has a sale, um, like the first or second Saturday in January. It's always like January 8th or 10th or something here in Boone, Iowa. They sell a lot of fur there. And actually prices aren't terrible. It's kind of on right on pace with what's going on. So it's a good option there too. Flintlock 25, you can sell fur to auction in Canada at fur harvesters. The problem right now, since Canada's locked down, no buyers are in there. Prices are absolute junk right there now. My fur buyer, literally, I might get in trouble for saying this, but he says he can buy fur at the auction for cheaper than he can buy it from trappers. So that right there tells me don't go to the auction. Plus, then you have due or royalties and everything else coming out of it. So Trapper J, Northern Iowa fur. Okay. Yeah, there's some good guys here in Iowa that buy fur. Northern Iowa Fur and Northeast Iowa Fur Exchange. It's Bill Drulow, and I can't think of the other ones for the life of me. Actually, somebody just posted about it today. Hold on. Bear with me. Um, Rick Himseth. Okay, there's the other one. That's funny. Funny I mentioned that. My fur buyer literally just messaged me on Facebook here about 15 minutes ago. We got some business to discuss tomorrow, so um, anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, hooked 87. Corn's coming out now like crazy. We're losing a lot. Be pretty early harvest for sure. Okay, Chris, you want one every day? That's what you want to catch. Nothing wrong with that. That's good. I like that goal. Go out there and trap every single day and catch one. Um, I even if you don't catch one, you know, depends on where you're at as far as level of trapper, but even for where I'm at, if I could say I'm setting traps and checking traps every single day a season, that'd be a huge accomplishment. Uh, I have several times where I got a week or so where I'm kind of downtime or something's going on, but that's pretty awesome. I wish you luck, man. Let me know how that goes for you. I really want to know. You're from Texas, about to move to Minnesota finally. Some better quality fur. Yeah, you're gonna have some good fur up there. You're not gonna have the coon population Iowa does, but your quality of furs can be way better. Outdoor Mike gave me a sub. Looking forward to seeing how your season goes. Enjoyed chatting. Got to get the kids to bed. Hey, have a good night, Outdoor Mike. I appreciate it, sub, man. It's gonna be a fun year. It's gonna be a good time. Yours is last Saturday in February, Judith and Dan. I wish ours was. We've tried to get our Iowa Association to back it up out of season because generally when they have our auction is right in the middle of that what I call the January thaw when the boar coon are really running looking for sows, and the people that are really diehard trappers are out trapping at that point, so they can't make the event. It's pretty frustrating. Crandall's Farmer Fur House in North Dakota is a great place to sell coyotes. Very honest people. Dealt with them for 40 years. Hey, Trapper Bob, that's awesome. There's plenty of fur buyers out there yet, guys. You just got to go out and find them. Chris, yeah, Bill's a good guy. I actually messaged him the other day, just small talking a little bit. Internet veteran, hey, thanks, man. Still drink. We're out of Pepsi, so instead of rum and Pepsi, now I'm doing rum and Mountain Dew. So things kind of took a turn there for sure. Hooked 87, Boone. The days of being in my 20s on Super Nationals. Oh shoot, that's funny. No, but guys, if first off, I'll tell you, there are guys in Iowa that run circles around me as trappers, guys. On coon, especially, and coyotes even. There's some the best trappers I know are coyote trappers. And when they can produce 40, 50, 60 or coyotes a season, even some guys I know are catching 100 coyotes a season. One of the best trappers I've ever met, if he wants to, if the market's right, is going to catch 2,000 coon in November, 300 coon or 300 mink in December, and 100 coyotes in January. I mean, just crazy numbers. So there's definitely a lot better people out there as far as trappers go than me. I'm just the one that's trying to film it, but there's so much that goes into this stuff. The preseason work, all the stuff that goes into your homework is what will make or break your season, no matter what's going on. If you don't put your homework forth and learn and get all that stuff, your routes mapped, your ground figured out ahead of time, you're in trouble. Bottom line, you're not going to hit numbers. So eventually, if that's what your guys' goal is, you're going to have to learn to do a lot of homework. And if you never want to be that guy, don't. There's no reason to if you don't want to. That's just who I am, and I always want to push to do more. But there's a lot of guys that just want to say, "Hey, I want to catch 10 coon every single year." Awesome, great, do that. No matter what, figure out how to do that. It's just do whatever you want to do, guys, but push yourself hard enough to do it. Anthony, it don't taste bad. I've done it before. I've got desperate before. Chris, you're gonna see Bill in the next couple of weeks. Still got fur in the freezer. I get it. Farmers Branch Outdoors. Teenage years were built on Jim Beam and Mountain Dew. Yeah, well, whatever you had to do at that point. You can't be picky when you're in your teens. That's for sure. Yeah, nothing wrong with not drinking, Anthony. I don't blame you a bit. Oh boy, Anthony, that's funny. Oh shoot, but yeah, no, guys, there's a lot of work involved in this, and a lot of people think, I have several guys ask me, when's the time of like the time frame where you start thinking about trapping? Year round, it never stops. Uh, it's constantly there, but I really start trap prepping in August. But like right now, here we're almost in October. It's full bore working on traps, making sure they have trap tags on them. I got to dip traps. I use Formula One for all my dye. I got to make snares yet. I got to make pogos, start cleaning up the shop, get my flushing area ready, my skinning setup good to go. There's a lot of work to do. Flintlock 25, where I dispose all my carcasses and flushings. I don't dispose of my carcasses. Those are one of the things I sell, but all my flushings and my guts from the carcasses, that's one good thing about where I'm at. I have a really nice neighbor here next to me, so for a bottle of whiskey, he'll come out with his backhoe and dig I think last year was like a 12-foot deep, 14 by 14-foot hole in my backyard. And we got about 3.5 acres here. So he's in the far corner of it. He'll dig a big hole every night. I'll go down there with all my guts and whatever else that there is and get rid of stuff. But makes it a lot easier than what I used to do if I have to drive about 10 miles to a farmer, let me throw everything in his basically his dead pit. But it works out pretty well. Yeah, Anthony, there's a lot to do. There's always stuff to do. It never fails. There will be, I kid you not, it will be Friday before opening day, and I will be out in the shop after everybody goes to bed working on stuff. There's still some kind of last minute organization to do or get ready, because as soon as that season opens, it's game on. There's no time to do any little thing because everything is trap, skin, sleep. I mean, it's crazy, and that's what's going to happen. So if there's any little fine tuning, and this is how little it gets, but it makes such a difference. Okay, like this year on my flushing system, I got my box underneath my beam. This year, I'm going to put little screws in my bench that's above my beam that you've probably seen me work on. I'm going to put screws in it to hold my my steel for sharpening my fleshing knife and stuff, as well as um, have something to work on my what I scrape fat off for my fleshing knife. First off, just little things to where I can be working, grab and go instead of looking for a steel on top of the bench. Just little subtle things like that will make a huge difference in my season. Uh, I shouldn't say huge difference in my season, but it just makes it such an advantage going into it. All that little stuff is taken care of, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. You saved all the info and tests from your state trapping class for you. It's good stuff. Let me know how I can get you a digital copy of it. Yeah, I'd be interested in that, bud. For sure. Get a hold of me on Facebook, on Iowa Trapper, for sure. Yodi question for you. If you had to pick one snare foothold. Oh, hooked 87. I'm not a coyote trapper. I'll be the first to admit that. But all my coyotes this year came from snares, just right there on the road line. Just kind of what I do and who I am. But at the same time, your big coyote trappers, they're going to be foothold guys. Bottom line. That's something I want to get into more. I'm trying to get some. I'm taking a good friend of mine out on some ground this year that I have lined up permission to catch his first bobcat on, and he's a hell of a coyote trapper. And I look forward to watching what he's doing. I think I can learn a lot watching him. But yeah, I mean, I do snares now, but if I was really a coyote trapper, I'd be going with footholds, 100% for sure. Your neighbor has 30 deer dogs, and nutria carcasses go to the dogs. Oh, for sure. I could believe that. I could believe that 100%, Judith and Dan. Yeah, exactly what John Wagner just said there. Hooked 87. That's kind of the go-to. Do critters drag stuff out for the wife to see? You're talking out of my shop? If so, if I forget to shut the garage door, our German Shorthair will go in there and pull out some coon fat or something and leave on the front stoop. I get in a lot of trouble for that. A lot of trouble. Oh yeah, fish hunt, trapper Pete. I deer hunt, mostly shotgun hunt here in November because I don't have time. Um, I don't have time to bow hunt because it's in the peak of trapping season. It just is what it is. Hey Chad, thanks for stopping in. Make sure you let your daughter know I'm representing tonight. So glad you could make it, buddy. Take care. Have a good weekend. I look forward to seeing how you guys do this year. It's gonna be fun to watch your guys' success. L&J Outdoors Misadventures. Looking forward to some videos on finishing fur. Will be my first year trying to trap coon and coyote. Don't plan to sell anything. When you get enough to make me happy, I'll be done. Hey, that's all that matters. Whatever you get to that you're happy with, man, go with that. But yeah, that's something I've played with this year is what I'm thinking about doing, especially if I got enough people that want it. It's not going to be the opening week for sure, but, when I start slowing down, maybe I've only got, a 20 coon day. I can skin a coon real quick and have a camera set up above my fleshing beam so you can watch me flesh fur. I'll be able to answer questions that you might have while fleshing fur. It's something that's new that I've never done before, and I think it'd be a good time. People that want to finish fur that have no idea what they're doing, they've watched a movie, but they have a bunch of questions. This could be a good way to help them out. So it should be a good time. You wouldn't consider yourself big trapper, but frozen ground and footholds in North Dakota is just a damn time. Yeah, I hooked 87. You're up there in North Dakota. I think you said earlier you're going to get your first frost tonight. You guys are going to be froze up early, like really early. So that's going to be tough. Yeah, Anthony, I'm impressed. We still got, 59, 60 people in here. Hey, hooked 87. If snares are what you like, stick with them, man. You don't have to use footholds. People always get this assumption that they have to go with what the most popular thing is. Here's a good example of you. Not of you, but just of trappers in general. I ran the Duke number 2 round jaws for a while. And a lot of people jumped on the MB 550s. Those are the best trap in the world. Then all of a sudden it was, oh, Bridger number 2 dogless are the best thing. All these MB guys would jump to the Bridgers. The Duke number 2 square jaws came out. Oh, jump to them. Um, the I think now it's the Alpha trap came out. Now everyone's jumping to them, or the No BS. What seems like whatever people think is the best, people jump to. But I'm telling you, what works for you, stick with it. Don't change what you're doing if it works for you because somebody else had good luck with it. Maybe experiment with that. Think about it. Hey, I'll try that. Kind of. Here's a good example. A buddy of mine that was trapping dog proofs last year. He had good luck with cat food, like I did. He's doing pretty good with cat food. He's catching, not great numbers, but he was doing good with it. And then someone told him that this I don't know what it was, some cherry soft, you know, commercial bait was best. He committed every one of his traps to that stuff opening day last year. Instead of catching, he's not a huge long liner, but instead of catching, 8 or 10 coon, I don't think he caught a coon for like 3 days because he fully committed to that stuff. And that was a wrong decision in my mind. If it works for you, stick with it, but experiment with something that might be coming up. You don't have to fully commit to it. That's just not how it should be. Hey, John, hope you guys have a good night. Look forward to chatting with you here soon. Season's coming up, so I'm definitely going to be picking your brain, buddy. Have a good night, bud. Gut piling back 40. Chris, I'm not sure exactly how much time I'm taking off. I do have locked in the first 2 weeks of season this year that I'll be off work. Other than that, probably not much. That's probably the only thing I got. Trapper. Yeah, don't fall asleep if you got to work tonight, bud. Yeah, Trapper J. I like the dogless trap myself, but a lot of people hate them. I don't know why. I think it just comes down to a personal thing of, what I would call what's the word I'm looking for? The Chevy Ford thing. If you had good luck with a Chevy your first time, you're going to stick with it. If you had luck with a Ford the first time, you're going to stick with it and trash talk everything else. I like the dogless traps too. It wasn't my first thing, but I've had really good luck with them in the past. I like them. A lot of people are the other way. So it just is what it is. Yeah, Anthony here likes the no BS. That's great. Hey, Chris. So you're not that too far away from Mason City then, I gather. Yeah, Dredger 9, exactly. If you're familiar and can make it work, your trap is the only for you. Between the rust and the paint, I got to make mine a little smoother. Yeah, if so many people are sitting here, if I had 100 people right now tell me that Duke dog proofs are junk, switch to no BS or FB1s, I look at that and say, all right, maybe I'm going to try some of them because a lot of people like them. But I've had good luck with Dukes, so I'm going to stick with them. And that's what people need to learn. You don't need to just jump on the next boat that comes by. Your boat's just fine if it's floating. All right, guys, I got to step outside for a quick second. Drank way too much tonight. All right. All right, where are we at? Trapper J gonna take a COVID vacation, second week of season. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't planning on something similar. Oh yeah, no more bent dogs on the dog traps. I get that 100%. Hey Anthony, there's nothing wrong, with using, a half dozen traps. Everyone. Whoa, lean back a little too far. Uh, everyone, everyone has their own restrictions. I've had so many people reach out to me and say like, "There's no way I can do what you're doing. There's no way I can hit that many traps and cover that, catch that many coon." Then don't do it. I'm not telling you to do that, but if you catch a 10 coon season, it's very possible if you want to push yourself, you could hit a 20 coon season or 25. It's just there's more to people as far as drive than what they think if they really want it. Um, it just it bothers me sometimes. About 40 miles. Okay, Chris. Yeah. Kendall makes a hell of a trap. He really does. Uh, I knew him not personally, but I knew of him before he was um, a trap maker necessarily. He was out. He actually worked construction for years and took. He's laid off from November till probably March or something like that to trap, and he caught a lot of coon and a lot of mink. And his career kind of escalated, and then he started making traps, and now he does that full time. So pretty awesome, pretty awesome. You didn't like the old Duke staking method. What's that? I'm kind of curious what that is. Hey, Dredger 9. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I just made that up too. Your boat's still fine if you're floating. The things that come to you after a few drinks are baffling. Yeah, LNJ, that's just, with Trapper J, he's got that big distance to cover. Mine's already on the ground, so you don't have to worry about it. See, Trapper J, that's when you start upstream. You got to start up there first, bud. Yeah, Anthony, it's all about the prep work. I've already, I'm so far behind, I feel, but I'm always feel like I'm behind. But I can't start hitting these roads to mapping stuff out until we get closer to frost, if not frost. Uh, I want frost on the ground. It makes things easier to find these trails because they really pop after a frost. But for the size of line I'm doing, the frost they're expecting this year's like October 17th. That gives me 6 days to route out my entire line. My entire line this year is, if I combine all my lines, I'll about be 300 miles of roads. And I don't have time in 6 days to do that. So I'm going to have to get a jump on it. That's kind of what I did earlier in my video before this, trying to get a jump on it. It was too early. It didn't work. So now we're kind of in a waiting game, but the homework and prep work to a trap season is everything if you're going after numbers. I can't stress that enough. What did you do with the deer head? It's over here. I just got to find a place to put her yet. Definitely my biggest one I've ever killed. I'm pretty proud of this guy too. It took me a lot of years, 15 years to kill a good buck, but he's got these inside tines that come in from the main beam. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I'm pretty proud of him. Oh, where are we at? Yeah, Chris. He's I think Kendall's pretty much moved to coyotes down south now, Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico type stuff. But yeah, when he wanted to, he's a hell of a mink trapper up here. Raccoon snares. Do you use what's the setup? I don't snare any coons. Uh, Fish hunt, trap, repeat if I can avoid it. Occasionally, I have a big coon get caught in my coyote snares I set, but I do not snare coon for the purpose of the pelt's already almost invaluable, and you put a snare mark on it, and it's gonna render it pretty much worthless. So, Trapper J, you like that one, did you? I just meant because you're so tall. That's the only reason. Kendall reminds you of your dad's best friend who owns Dave Smith Decoy. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, no, Anthony Kendall's a hell of a good guy. Um, every year at the Iowa Trappers Convention, there's kind of a little powwow of the Iowa Trappers Talk group on Friday nights. There's all kinds of gatherings going around. There's campfire every fifth or sixth camper or something, but there's so many gatherings of people. But Kendall, like this year at the NTA, I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but he was right there talking with just average people like me. He just came up to a campfire and started talking trapping or even about life. He's a very down to earth guy. That's one of the few people that I haven't got a chance to meet personally. Uh, I should say I've met him, but he would have no idea who I am. Many years ago, man, if I met him tomorrow, he'd still have no idea who I was. But he is a good dude, very down to earth guy. Just a good guy, just in general. You can't complain about him. I'm gonna have a helper or two with this coming trapping season. Nope, Dredger 9. I will be by myself. Trapper J is coming with me opening day, running a line with me. But other than that, I am fully on my own. Trapper J says I could put him to work on opening day, but we'll see about that. Uh, I don't want to burn him out and not have him not get himself a good season because he's too worn out riding with me. Uh, I just I fly solo, guys. I'm a solo trapper. My dad rides with me when he can. He's partially disabled, so he doesn't get around real well, but he can still get out of the truck and stuff. But he's pretty limited to up at the truck. So it's good to have someone there to throw you bait down, or if you're going to add a trap for him to throw it down to me. But he doesn't get around real good, and he rides with me quite often, and we have a lot of good memories and good times doing it. We've caught some fun stuff together. But as far as the actual trapping aspect go, I am definitely a Lone Ranger. As I said earlier, Justin Mertens rode with me last year, a good buddy of mine. Having him there with me was awesome. It definitely saved me a lot of time that first day because he rode with me on setting day and opening day, and it was good time. It was nice having someone there that you didn't have to check the right side of the road every time. So I might put Trapper J to work checking the right sides, but same time I don't want to burn him out too. He's got a lot of stuff on his plate as well, and just be good to have him ride along and talk trapping and pick his brand on what he thinks I should do. He's got, maybe different methods or different styles that I could pick up on, just like anybody on here, anyone on the chat right now. We can learn so much from each other, and that's a huge, huge thing. Trapper J, run on the treadmill backwards. No, not going to happen. You're gonna have to give me a heck of a lot more messed up than that. Maybe if we get together Saturday night, depends what time you get here, I'll get you on there backwards. Boy, that sounded bad. That sounded really bad. Let me back up from that. Uh, oh boy, that sounded terrible. But I'll let you run on that backwards. Come that Saturday, because since Trapper J is gonna get here Saturday night sometime to run with us on Sunday. Hopefully, if I can talk him into it, we're going to do a live on Saturday night. It's going to be depends on how what time I get done, because he's going to show up Saturday evening, afternoon, sometime. We haven't really talked about it yet, but uh, I'll be setting all day, from 8 o'clock in the morning, setting all day. I'm going to be pretty burnt out Saturday night. So if we do a live together, it's going to be probably fairly short because, I'm going to want to be in bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock at the latest because we're going to have a big Sunday. If we don't hit 150 coon, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. But we're going to hit well over 100 no matter what. I'll make sure of that. But it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I've learned a lot from him, especially as far as the whole filming, YouTube. If I have a question, I can text him and he gets back to me and helps me out with it. So it's going to be a good time. Yeah, guys, that turned around pretty bad. Oh boy. Yeah, John, don't film that. Yeah, that sounded really bad once I said it. That was pretty terrible. No, Anthony, that'll be November 6th. November 6th opening day. So I'll be running traps, setting traps all day Saturday. I don't know exactly what time Jay is planning on showing up, but he'll show up that evening, late afternoon, whenever. At least that was a plan, I thought, anyway. But cool catches. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. The first day of checking, I'll tell you what, Eric. I'll get you on there backwards. Thanks, intervention. I appreciate it. Oh, internet veteran, you just had to bring that up, but I like it. That was fun. Boy, the things coming out of my mouth at this point in the night. But so I want to talk about that, Eric. One thing for me that's always been a huge thing for me: anticipation for trapping season is everything for me. Everything building up, to when season opens. I'll go out and I'll set traps like crazy. And it's a huge day for me, setting traps, setting steel, go like hell until I get everything set I want to, which is generally going to be about 5:30 in the evening when I get done. And Trapper J, I'm not going to break this tradition either. Every evening, it might sound different to some people, but I sit on my tailgate in my truck, have a beer and a cigar, and watch the sun go down and just anticipate what tomorrow is going to bring. Just enjoy the moment, because come tomorrow, all hell's going to break loose. But for right now, at that point, I'm just so excited, and all the anticipation from months of preparation has built up to that one moment. And that moment is the most relaxing and enjoyable moment that I'm going to have all trapping season, knowing what's to come. How everything I've done for the last about 3 months, the hundreds of hours, is going to just be unlocked come tomorrow. And, I don't get a lot of time after that to really just sit back and enjoy. I mean, I have a lot of fun and I enjoy it, but those moments, where I'm talking about, maybe you're in a bow stand or something and just the perfect situation scenario where you're just 100% at peace. And that's what I love. That's what got me into this sport in the beginning. And, as I've grown and grown and got bigger and bigger, some of that's gone away a little bit because I don't have the time to enjoy it as much. But for that opening day, after setting traps, that is my time to just anticipate what that whole year is going to bring. And it's an amazing feeling. It's awesome. And I really look forward to doing that. I don't even think I filmed it last year because I was just so at peace with it, watching the sun go down, thinking, I wonder if I've caught anything yet. I wonder how this year's going to go, how my family's going to handle me being gone. But everything was just at peace. And it is an amazing feeling. It sounds different to some, but that's just what gets me by. I love it. Yeah, Dredger 9 mil. I honestly almost I won't say every night, but at least every other night, I'll go out here on our front porch, sit down, watch the sun go down, and just have a beer or a mixed drink and just kind of relax, watch the sun go down. It's getting earlier and earlier every year, and it's coming. It's season's upon us. It's getting here closer, but I love that. Even in the middle of summer when it's 9:30 at night, I just love to watch that sun go down and just kind of reminisce of what life's about. It's kind of a big thing for me. Yeah, Flintlock. Definitely gonna be setting for weasels this year, but it's gonna be a late season line. For those of you who watched my late season last year, I caught some pretty good coon where I was at. The guy that let me ride with him. I'm planning on doing that again this year. He mentioned that I probably could, but since then his son-in-law's shown interest in trapping, which is awesome. I really hope he does it. But even if I don't make it up there this year, I'm going to find a new route going somewhere else and set a whole new coon line, a bunch of weasel sets with it, and see what I come up with late season. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. You're definitely going to puke a few times, Trapper Jay. Oh, that's not good. Well, if you do it, maybe you should do it in a dog proof. I bet that's attractive to him. I'm sure it will. Fill up on Taco Bell. Yeah, Anthony, it is the most peaceful time of night. It's just amazing. Hey, Ohio Trapper, you're here. Oh yeah, it's been a good time. It's been a good live. I've been very happy with it. We're down to 51 people, but I appreciate you guys stopping in. It's been fun. Fish hunt, Trapper Pete. Yeah, sunset while bow fishing. I'll bet, or bow hunting. Yeah, because I'm sure you got that point where you realize like you've got a 10-minute window here when everything's going to pick up. You're going to see a deer in the next 10 minutes. That's kind of where I'm at. Uh, I love bow hunting, but trapping overtook everything for me. So, all right, Chris, have a good night, bud. I didn't realize goose hunting opened tomorrow. That's interesting. That's pretty crazy. No, now I know who ANC Trapline is. I got that. I'm pretty sure he told me that a while ago. All right, have a good night, Chris. We'll catch you later, buddy. Yeah, Jason. Sunset there has too many mosquitoes. For us during trapping season, we've already got a frost that kills most everything off, but there's just something about going out there, guys, and just enjoying what you love to do. And that's what I do. I'm very fortunate to have a wife that tolerates it. That's the best way to say it. She treats me really well. I can't complain at all. She grew up in a kind of a, I won't say a tougher life, but she saw, how do I say this without getting in trouble? I'm lucky enough to be able to do what I do because she saw what it's like for someone to not be able to do anything. When she was growing up, she had kind of a tougher life. So when she saw what she saw when she was younger, she realizes that I need to be able to do things myself too, and enjoy my life. And at the same time, I respect the hell out of my wife and encourage her with everything she can. So it's a very mutual thing, guys. I am so thankful that my wife is able to take care of everything that she does because she is an amazing woman that, I'm gone every weekend, guys, during the first 3 weeks trapping season. So she's a single mom working full time, going to school every single night during the week, pretty much. She's not Friday nights, but so for at least 3 to 4 nights out of the week, she has school every single night, and that's she does that with the kids on the weekends, and it's tough for her, and I know that, and I'm very thankful that I have her for that. She's definitely my rock for sure. So, but at the same time, I'm so happy that she's following her passion. She started going to school for graphic design and everything else, and it's a very mutual drive. Like me and John Wagner talked about how we push each other trapping. me and my wife push each other for our passions. I support her in everything she does, and she supports me, and it's a good time. She's even joined some of these lives before. She asked me, she's like, mind if I stop in? I'm like, absolutely. Swing by, say hi to everybody. Be here for as long as you want. I don't care. Be here the whole time. Don't matter. You're just as much part of this trapping channel as I am. I mean, because without her, it wouldn't happen. 100%. Deer season's open here tomorrow. Hoping to get one in the dirt by next weekend. That'd be all right, Ohio Trapper. We got our youth season is right now, and I'm actually planning on taking my boy out tomorrow night, so that should be a good time. Hey, thanks, Anthony. I appreciate that. I'm pretty down to earth. Might be a few raw moments here and there, but I'm just an average Joe, guys. I have. There's actually been several guys in this feed tonight that I've seen that have way more knowledge about trapping than I do, by far. Jason, you don't get frost here until almost December. Okay, you must be down south quite a ways then. Oh, Chris, that's right. Yeah, they changed our zones this year because now they got a north, middle, and southern, or central and southern, or whatever they call it. That makes sense now. I didn't register that. It definitely takes a tough ass woman to love a trapper. That's no lie. My fiance calls it my non-existent 3 months. Yeah, Ohio Trapper. It is. I mean, I can never give my wife enough credit for what she has to deal with when I'm gone. But at the same time, when I started trapping hard, I promised her, no matter what, every evening I am inside by 5:30, 5 to 5:30. Whenever she gets, as soon as she gets home from work with the kids, I'm inside, and that's how it is. When she goes to bed, I'll go back out to the shop. But when she comes home, I am inside because I'm going to spend that time with my family. I certain people might not think it's enough time with my family that I've come to recently figure out, but I'm still going to spend as much time with them as I can. But when they go to bed, and that's when the drive that I always talk about comes into play. So you're exhausted, you're burnt out. Now you've been sitting on the couch, relaxing with the family. They go to bed. Now you got to get your ass back outside and get to work. And that is probably the hardest part about trapping, the numbers that I do. Say I catch 40 coon that day. I get 10 of them skinned out by the time I get home. The family's here. Come inside, relax, have dinner, relax a little bit, start falling asleep on the couch. They go to bed. Now I got to get back out there, and I got to skin 30 coon that night. You're looking at probably 3 hours for me at that point in the week. I'm already tired, burnt out. You're looking at 3 hours. They go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock. You're looking at midnight, 1 o'clock, pretty easy. And that's tough, especially when you're getting back up at 6 o'clock the next morning to start it all over again. And then the drive is more than just the run the trap line. It has everything to do with what goes on behind the scenes, after you make the catch. I always consider trapping as you got the fun trap line part and then the work part of what happens after the catch. The brushing the fur out, the skinning, the flushing, that is a whole new aspect. It's a whole new thing altogether. It's a lot of work. Absolutely, Eric. It does take. My wife's a hell of a good woman. I can't bitch about that at all. Just told your wife that she's the girl of my dreams. She asked, good dreams or bad dreams? That's awesome, Dredger. That's probably how my wife would react too. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Jason, you're 20 minutes from Sam Rayburn Lake. Guess I don't know where that's at, bud. Yeah, Anthony, fishing pelts takes a lot of work. That's a lot more time consuming than most people think, especially if you put your heart into it. If I'm going to finish my fur and offer to sell it, you're basically marketing a product, and you want that product to look the best it can when you go to sell it to get the most money. And that's something I take a lot of pride in, is my finished work. That's why I took a lot of pictures and post it on my Facebook page this year. Just to finish fur hanging, what I've done, because I take a lot of pride in that. A lot of pride in that. Yeah, Ohio Trapper, you wouldn't do it if we didn't enjoy the work, though. It's work. It is a lot of work, and I have a huge passion for finishing fur. Um, I just love it. It's something that I've had a lot of people. Oh, you should just sell it in the carcass or sell it green, whatever. I love to finish my fur and look at that finished product. It's a huge pride thing for me. I can't ever. I don't think I'll ever be able to walk away from that for sure. You don't have an extra freezer. You have to skin everything the night that you catch it. You talking just skin it or actually put it up, Anthony? I'm curious. Oh, Jason, you're in southern Texas. Yeah, you you don't you probably don't have a whole lot of frost down there. Oh, Anthony, you're 20 minutes from Portland. My brother-in-law just moved from Portland here the other couple months ago, I guess. Yeah, Portland's pretty rough right now, guys. Um, yeah, it's pretty ugly, but skin it and tack it out. Yeah, Ohio Trapper. For what I do with my line, I'm I won't say I'm in the know with things, but I have a lot more connections than probably the average trapper does, between YouTube and just really pushing my homework as far as markets and stuff like that. Uh, I've heard a lot of things, a lot of good things about possibly the coon market coming back later this next year. Um, things will improve. I won't say they will improve, but there's good chance that they're going to improve later after the first year. I'll say, from what I've been hearing is like February to April probably be a decent chance of increased prices. Um, I won't say it's going to be great, but I've heard things will come up. Uh, whether that's true or not, time will tell. But things are looking optimistic about it. Either way, I've done enough homework this year. I am looking at almost a $5 to $6 average on stuff before I even get to my fur, which is a huge advantage for me this year. Just from the markets that I've discovered and contracted out, and that's a huge thing for me. So I'll be looking, even if fur's pretty well junk for finished fur, I'm still gonna be looking at a 10, maybe $12 average, uh, for all the markets that I have. Um, and I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. For where the fur market's at right now, you got to capitalize on all the other markets. If a carcass market's legal in your state, Balcom, skulls, uh, toenails. There's so many different things here people need to capitalize on that everyone's got hung up on. It's just the fur. It's just the fur. There's other things here, guys. There for sure is. Oh, Anthony, you clean skin if you can. That's something I've never done. I've tried it on beaver once, but I never did good. Hey, Dredger9, you taking off? Hey, it's been fun, man. I appreciate you stopping in. Uh, seem to be one of my regulars on here, so I appreciate your support on this. Hopefully, we'll see you. I'm going to try and start doing this every Friday or Saturday night as season progresses. Depends on my time and what I got going on, but we're gonna keep doing this pretty regularly. So, thanks, Dredger9. I appreciate it, bud. You take care. Rats are getting more money. Yeah, rats are looking good, guys. Rats are probably going to start off probably that $4 to $5 average is what I'm hearing. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good year for rats. Mink are going to follow suit. The question is, are the coon going to? It might not be this year, but I think next year If they don't spike up, after the first of the year, they will by next season. I could be wrong on that, but we're going to figure it out. Bought some adjustable wood boards, but hoping need more. What else? Just for stretcher boards. L&J, what I will tell you, I don't run any adjustables. Nothing wrong with the adjustables, but for what I do, for what I'm doing, I want everything uniform, everything the exact same width, exact same, dimensions all the way up to the nose. With the adjustables, you're going to have coyotes this wide or this wide, or, everything's going to vary slightly. I want everything the exact same. And that's what a lot of buyers want. If you walk in with any quantity of anything, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with, having adjustables by any means, but for me personally, I want that uniform size, that everything's the exact same width. Excuse me, but it. Well, I guess what are you using the adjustables for? I'm assuming your fox or coyotes. Um, Kind of curious what you're using them for. You'd be happy with a $12 average right now too. Probably hold mine until the last auction of the year, depending on the first 2 sales here in Ohio. Ohio Trapper, if I were you with fur harvesters, if you have any beaver, get them on the first sale. The first sale for fur harvesters is always a good beaver sale. Coon, I would hold off. I'm probably going to send a few up as a gamble if I think the fur market's going to spike anytime. In 2013, nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw that fur spike coming. At least nobody I know. And nobody that the people I know knew. So just something to think about. But yeah, the coon, it's going to be a rough start. It's going to be tough, but we'll get through it. All right, Anthony. I think a lot of the guys like the 8-inch boards for coon. That a lot of places will see the small coon board, the medium coon board, and then the large coon board. All of mine go on the same board. I think mine are 7 3/4, which gives about an 8-inch wide fur. Maybe they're 7.5. I'll have to actually take a measurement on it. I buy all my boards from Scott and Terry Webb here in northern Iowa. They have an actual. That's how they make their living. Is they have a kind of like the portable sawmill thing. They just have that little shop outside their place, and they cut all kinds of oak tabletops and stuff. And they make basswood coon coyote stretchers, and I buy a bunch of them from them. Really great. I've said that before about who I deal with. These guys are just great people. They're trappers. They're outdoor enthusiasts and very personable. And that's why I like to deal with them. They're just good people. And anybody has any interest on that, I do know they are still making boards currently. I won't put on here publicly, but message me at on Facebook at Iowa Trapper, and I'll get you some contact information for them because they make some phenomenal boards. They got what they call the 4-in-1, which is a good board for bobcat, coyote, otter. I can't even remember the other one. It can't come to me right now, but that's why all my coon boards from too. Matter of fact, this last year at convention, I bought another 30 coyote boards and I think 25 coon boards. So that'll put me at 230 coon boards or something like that. So good board is something you need. It's very, very helpful. Anthony, yeah, they don't have a website. Just message me and I'll help you out. Yeah, Anthony, yeah, message me on my personal page. That's fine too, bud. L&J, message me if you can on Facebook. Iowa Trapper. I'll get with you on that. They only make the 4-in-1, which is for your big animals, and then the coon. They don't necessarily. I don't think they make fox. I guess I don't know that because I've never asked them for fox, but I can look into it for sure for you. Yeah, Ohio trapper. There's nothing wrong with wire. When it comes to my fur handling, I want that skirt flat and even across. Those wire tend to arc up a little bit, and at convention, and some fur buyers, they're going to dock you. It's to the highest point. So if right here was, the 35-inch 4XL, but you have that arc, now it's 34 inches. Now you went from 4X to a 3X coon. And that's the only thing I've had against wire. And also, I think wood makes it look fuller. It makes it look thicker. It's just a heavier coat. It's weird how that works because people told me that and I didn't believe it. But since I started doing it and using wood, it's noticeable. You can take a wired coon next to a wooden coon, and there's a huge difference in that. 100% huge difference. Um, it definitely shows. It definitely shows. So yeah, Ohio Trapper. It does have the grace to show it. When I first started trapping on the road line hard and actually putting up fur, like for the first time putting up fur, uh, I sent what was it? I think I sent 83 furs to fur harvesters, and I had 3 of those 83 in the top lot. Was very new to it and didn't know what I was doing, but I took a lot of pride in putting up my fur, and I thought I was doing a good job, but I didn't have anything to compare it to because I'd never done it before. And yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome to see that. So the wood definitely helps it out for sure. That's exactly how you've been wanting to switch. Looks better. Yeah, Anthony, wood looks the best for sure. Use a modified wire stretcher. It's a wire stretcher with a wooden bottom. Yep, I know what you're talking about, Jeff. So you can staple the bottom of your fur to keep it straight. How do you like that, Jeff? I know I've seen them before, but I don't own any, so I'm kind of curious what you think on that. Uh, they've worked well. I've seen fur put up on them, and they look good. They look perfectly fine. Do you think the bottom feels thicker than the top where it's on wire, or how hard are you? How hard are you pulling it down? This chair's squeaky as heck today. Oh shoot! Ooh, better charge this sucker. Forgot my phone was my hotspot. She's about dead on me. Yeah, Jeep. No, absolutely. Message me anytime. I get to my messages quite a bit. I'm pretty upkeep on it. Just want to help people out as much as I can. Just learn the art of trapping. So anything I can help from fur handling to trapping to trap prep. That's why I started my "So You Want to Be a Trapper" page. There's no stupid question to ask on there. Anybody can reach out and ask anything they want to, from what's everyone's go-to coyote set to what's the difference. What does a coyote look like compared to a possum, or is this a possum or a coyote? There, there's no stupid question because we all started somewhere. Some of these people might live in New York City and have never seen either, but just are curious about trapping. Maybe they'll never trap a day in their life, but they want to learn about it and know what it is. And it's our job to show them what it is. So no, Anthony, I just got a wife's in bed. I can see the light off behind me. Everybody went to bed already. So no, just my phone's on. I didn't realize, I forgot that my phone was the hotspot on this, and I started this with like 65% battery, and it was down to like 9. So if it dies, we're all screwed. Oh wow, Jeff, you got 150 of them. That's awesome. You should do all right then. Yeah, Jeff. I won't say get rid of them, because if it works for you, stick with it, man. But that full board, that full feeling to them is huge, especially to a fur buyer. But if that works for you, man, stick with it. Don't change it. Getting rid of those and investing in boards would be a lot of money. It'd be a lot of money. Anthony, I try, man. I want to help people. That's the whole the whole concept to this is to help what I can. I've learned a lot from other people on here to help me, but just to encourage people to understand trapping. You don't have to be a trapper to understand trapping. And people kind of mix that up a little bit. Like they don't understand that, oh, so and so's not a trapper. It was sad that they went with me and it wasn't for them. As long as they understand why we do it and how we do it and how we're ethical about it, that's all that matters. You don't have to be a trapper to support trapping. My wife, if she rode with me on my line, I would have to let every single raccoon go because she's done it before, and I've pretty much had to let everything go because she's just the cute animal. We can't do this. Let it go thing. But at the same time, she understands what I'm doing and is happy and proud of me for what I'm doing because she understands it. She understands it. Will she ever be a trapper? Absolutely not. Never. But she understands and respects the reasons why we're doing this. And that's all I can ask for out of anybody. Fish hunt, trapper Pete. Have a good night, bud. Oh, Ohio trapper for sure. Yeah, you talk to some fur graders and stuff. Yeah, it's a huge learning curve. I mean, I'm sure I could learn a huge amount if I actually make it up to our boon auction anytime. Yeah, Western Outdoors putting fur up is huge. It's a huge pride thing too, and you're gonna double your money on it. This is what I always talk about. Okay, so you have trapping over here, and then there's a fur handling aspect. Trapping every year, you're gonna lose some traps. You're running gas every single year, the same expenses to do this. You come over to the fur handling side, you have a one-time expense, give or take, to buy boards, push pins, flushing beam, knife. All that equipment's going to last you 10 years for the average trapper. If you catch 200 animals a year, you spend $200, that's going to last you 10 years. Those 200 coon over here on this aspect, that $200 is going to last you a week in gas. And then, another 200 and another 200. This is always adding, but this for the most part, is going to stay the same of a one-time investment. If you can double your money for a one-time investment year after year after year, why wouldn't you do it? If you have the time and want to learn how to do it, do it. Jeep, it's not a private. Well, yeah, it is a private group. I got the Iowa Trapper page. Also, if you post on the say you want to be a trapper page, I can reach out to you from there. That would be another way to get a hold of me. Any tips on skinning bobcats? I have two, and I'm scared I'm going to screw them up. Western Outdoors, they're thin-skinned. They are very thin-skinned. But you can do a lot of pulling on them. Don't necessarily, take that knife every, quarter inch. You can take that hide, put it in between your thumb and pointer finger, and curl it and pull down. Not hard, but just an inch at a time around it. Just keep going. You can pull them down pretty good. They're a beautiful animal. I don't want to mess anything up, especially if it's one of your first couple. But just take your time. Take your time. I'd rather you spend 2 hours skinning one than try to do it in 20 minutes and ruin it, especially if it's one of your first ones, for sure. That's why you use the hybrid stretchers. You get more length and still have a fuller look belly. A lot of your fur grades semi-heavy, which is good for northern. Wow, flipping fish. That's pretty impressive. If you're northern Texas can go grades semi-heavy, I'm about 50% semi-heavy here versus 50% heavy if I wait till later in the year for a lot of them. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty good, pretty good amount. Um, yeah, that's really impressive. But yeah, it's all about your presentation, guys. You are marketing an animal. Okay, you are marketing a product. What's going to look the best? Okay, if I showed up to sell you this, okay, pretty, it's nice and clean. If I take the same trap and the same strength and cover it in cow crap, probably not going to get the same price I could sell it for this. That's just fact. Same thing with fur handling. If you make a good product, present it the best it can be, you're not going to turn a $10 coon into a $20 coon, but you can turn that $10 coon into a $1 coon like that. It's just part of it. That coon is at its ultimate best when you harvest it. It's never going to get any better than that. Everything you do to it can only damage it. Just remember that. So really take care of that fur. It's just how it is. It's part of the game, guys. Absolutely, Anthony. Just be educated on the subject. That's all you can ask for. You're right. That is one of the problems about trapping, Eric. People don't know why we do it. Here's an example. Here in the big city that's close to me, they advertised somebody lost power, and apparently a raccoon had climbed a power pole and blew a transformer. Uh, they were wanting somebody to come out there and actually like do a burial service for this raccoon that died, and it was a huge thing in this town. Like, it's so sad that this raccoon died, and it's so unfair, and it's life. It is, as people pass away, it's unfortunate, but we harvest animals, we harvest everything dies. It does. And what we do as trappers is more humane than anything else that can kill an animal. It really, even as a hunter, if animals die of a natural death, it is very cruel. And a lot of people don't realize that. There's no animal that dies more humane than what a trapper, an ethical trapper or ethical hunter does to it. Um, and people don't realize that. Everybody thinks animals live forever, and they don't. You know, you look at an adult white-tailed deer, they'll live until their teeth wear down so much they can't eat food, and then they literally will starve to death throughout the winter. That's terrible. Um, Raccoon will die from distemper. That's a very slow, terrible death. But people don't realize that, and they think trappers are terrible because you have teeth traps and you break all their bones and this and that. No, that's not the truth at all. People are so misinformed, and that's why we have to get out there and inform them. They may never be trappers, but show them what we really are. And that's kind of what I'm doing. What I'm doing. I've had a lot of, not a lot, but I've had a few people reach out like, I've never heard of this stuff before, but I see why you're doing it, and I'm like, that's all I can ask for. That's all I want. That's all I need from you. It's too bad. Sorry, I got carried off there, guys. You're making the transition from fur bearing instead of pest control. Yeah, it's an adjustment, man. It is an adjustment for sure. Wester Outdoors, find a flushing knife that fits you. I used a Necker for years. Very stiff, solid blade. I liked it. Then I went to a Caribou, which has a lot of flex and give in it. And I love that. That fits my style of flushing better. But it's all about you and what works for you. There's no right or wrong answer to that, but I will say do not buy one of those cheap $10 to $30 knives. Spend 50 to, I think a lot of them are kind of up closer to 80 to $100 for a good knife, whether that be a Necker 600, a Caribou, If you really want to get into the money, the English knives, you're looking at 150 bucks. I've never used one, but spend quality. Um, it's funny because I like that caribou how it flexes. Other people have commented how they hate the caribou flexes. They love the necker because it's solid. It's all about your personal preference. There's 100 different things, man. There's no right or wrong answer. Just spend money on quality. You're actually the fur auction coordinator for the Ohio State Trappers Association. Trust me when I say this. The buyers know the grade at first look. Fur handling is huge. It's all presentation. Oh, absolutely, Ohio Trapper. Hey, way to be part of your organization, man. That's awesome. I mean, we need people like that. Whatever state you're in, you need to get involved in it. So that's awesome. If a beaver cut a tree down and started a brush fire because it knocked the power line over, yeah, Anthony, it wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, Dan, Disney mentality. You know what, Jeep? I didn't realize that until now, but I used to love what was that? Fox and the Hound. I didn't realize how terrible that makes trappers look. There's a lot of stuff like that that just make trappers look bad, but that's what people see first. So that's what gets stuck in their head, and it's too bad. It is. I wash pop it out after boarding. Use borax on fur and shop vac it out. Makes it fluffy and clean. Doesn't take as long as it sounds. Maybe a minute, but adds value. Absolutely, I like that. Absolutely. Exactly, Anthony. They just need to understand why we do it. They don't have to like it, but just understand there is a purpose to it. Yeah, that's too bad, Eric. Yeah, Judith and Dan. The post knives are pretty good. I've heard a lot of people like them. Like I said, all comes down to your personal preference. It buy something of quality, whether it's a post, a necker, a caribou. Um, I want to say some of the guys like the Weeby Elite. Um, Buy something though that's not one of the cheap $20 standard flushing knives. You're gonna regret that. I promise you. Judith and Dan, you've been gone for a while. I didn't know you were on here still. I think Jay fell asleep on us. So, Anthony, that's funny. You spent $400 on traps. I will say, I probably shouldn't say this. This was before I met my wife, so it's okay. But the biggest investment I've ever spent at a convention was $5,200 on trapping equipment. Uh, so that's just before my wife. It's okay to say, but that was a big year for me. But typically, yeah, I'm around that 300 to 500 bucks at convention. Just maybe replace a few traps, buy some swivels or stuff to make pogos or some new whatever. Something coming up. So, Jeep already passed out in the yard. That may very well be too. I can't say that didn't happen. I'm looking forward when he comes up here. I saw him at the NTA. I was pretty disappointed I didn't get to talk to him more. Um, he stopped by the booth because I was at Justin Stein's booth. He's selling skinning machines, which are just some phenomenal machines. But he let me, kind of distribute my apparel through his booth. And Trapper J stopped by, and I started talking to him. And then someone came up to buy one of my shirts and started talking to me. And before you know it, Trapper J was gone because he had other stuff to do. But I started, just BS trapping with this kid. I might have actually been Luke, I think, that stopped by that I talked about earlier. And we were talking to him, and he finally took off on me. But I didn't get a chance to talk to him as much as I wanted to. But when he comes up here November 6th, it's going to be a good time. I'm really looking forward to him riding along. Uh, it's going to be fun. I think we learn a lot from each other. Especially with this, he can really help me out with the YouTube stuff and filming, and it's gonna be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, everything's expensive now. Yeah, Ohio Trapper. You're gonna have to let me know. I'm gonna be there next year, I think. Uh, I'm gonna head out there. I've never been to Lima before, but I'm gonna go out there. I think. Just depends. It's not my anniversary, so that's good. That's kind of a big thing holding me back because I didn't know if it'd be the weekend of my anniversary or not, but it's not. So I'm planning on making it out to Lima next year. Should be a good time. I think I'm actually teaming up with Funkies again. Funky Trap Tags here in Iowa that I buy most of my equipment from. We're gonna do the Kids Cave again. Well, the Kids Cave is already an independent thing, but for the NTA, Alan donated like 3 or 4 traps to every kid that showed up to my demo at the NTA this year, and he's wanting to do it again next year. Last year he gave away like 215 or 14 dog proof traps to kids at the Kids Cave last year, and he's wanting to hook up with me again next year for Lima. So that should be a good time. I'm really looking forward to that. Okay. You're looking forward to a piece of large diameter PVC pipe to make fleshing beam like coon. That's something I've actually thought about, Judith and Dan, is making a PVC beam. I've never done it, but I've heard a lot of people really like it. So be kind of interested to see how that works out. I still use my boards for now, but I'd be really intrigued to try it. Jeff, we've spent a lot of money on trapping gear, that's for sure. John, problem is when we started putting animals and pets above us, PETA has gone crazy. You're right, 100%. It's rough, um, and it's too bad. So, some people just are so uneducated about how the world works. When you literally see posts about, someone posting a picture with a deer they shot, and they said, "That's terrible. You should go buy meat at the grocery store where it's made," which I have literally seen posts like that where people think meat is made at a grocery store. And it's like, you guys have no idea how the world works. And it's just sad. It's just too bad. But it is what it is. It's our job to educate them as best we can. Um, but some people are just too far gone. There's nothing we can do for them. What's funny is I used to have no complaints about coming in and trapping for rats, squirrels, and mice. A lot of people don't understand. There's a lot of these animals will cause so many damage they do. Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of damage there, Jason, for sure. JB lives in Lima, Ohio. That's cool. Anthony Funky's amazing. I talked with Alan on the phone. He's absolutely amazing. We talked about the Field Dreams field and all kinds of things. Yeah, no, Alan's there at Funky's is the best way I can explain it. So I met him and his wife at a convention many years ago. They had no idea who I was. I had no idea who they were. I started talking to his wife a little bit, talking to her. She somehow on the topic I got on my wife and kids. So it'd probably been 6 years ago now, something like that. The very next year, I show up at convention, and she still remembered my wife and kids' names and asked how they were doing. They're just such family people, just amazing people. You could walk up to Alan and talk trapping, or you could just talk about life because that's the type of people they are. And his wife is just as amazing as he is. They're such good people. And if you're following this live the whole time, I surround myself in the trapping world with just good, honest people that have a general interest in me, and I have a general interest in them. It's not just strictly business. Like my fur buyer that I talked about. He sent me pictures of his family vacation this year of him and the kids out at the local zoo and stuff like that. That's the type of connections I want with people. I don't want to strictly, all right, this is business, this is business. Someone's going to get screwed over eventually. That's that. No, I want those real connections with people. And that's who I surround myself with. The people that if they got in a pinch, just thinking, hey, can you loan me a couple $100 till next Friday? Or just, hey, I seen that you know, your kid had surgery or braces put in. How are they doing? That's the type of people that I want. The real personal connections. And that's what Funkies is. I mean, they're great priced for one. And even if I did find somebody that was slightly better, I'd still go through Alan because he is just that genuine of a person, both him and his wife. Uh, I can't speak highly enough of them. I mean, they're just that amazing of people. Okay. You have 6-inch PVC paint beams. They're great. Looking for one. Okay. A and C. Hey, I didn't realize you were still here. I just mentioned you a little bit ago. Um, I am looking forward to seeing your season on play this year, buddy. I totally forgot we talked about your new screen name. So it's going to be fun, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing how you guys do. Hey, Edward, how we doing? Oh yeah, all's well. Been a good live feed so far. We've had a lot of fun. It's been a good time. He made a 6-inch PVC beam with a second guess myself because I made it based on a video. So also bought a wooden beam. I can interchange it for my setup. Yeah, LNJ. There's options here. When I first, I strictly had a coon beam. Then a couple years ago, I tried to get a coyote coon muskrat beam, and kind of still just gravitated towards the coon beam. I kind of got away from everything else on it. I still got that. I don't know what it is, 8 or 9 inch coyote beam, but I just didn't like it. Even for the coyotes, it just didn't work for me. So pick something that works for you and stick with it. Don't change anything because it's all about what works for you. There's no need to go outside of that. Oh shoot, guys, getting late. Oh shoot, been a long night. Been fun though. Yeah, Anthony, it does get expensive. It gets expensive quick. Yeah, cool. Person messaged me on Iowa Trapper that wanted to talk to me is on here now. So, but anyway, guys, we're what is the date today? The 24th. So we are less than a month away from pre-staking here in Iowa. It's gonna be a huge day for me. That's when my season starts. So we got basically 30 days from today, and I'm putting steel on the ground. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a long day, but I'm really looking forward to it. So, a lot of work to do yet. A lot of work to do. I feel behind, but I always feel behind. And I always find a way to push myself to the end. The homework makes your season, guys. I can't stress that enough. If if you want a good season, whether it's 20 coon or 50 coon, 100, 1,000, 5,000, the amount of work you do before season is what's going to make that happen. If you want 20 coon and you're on private ground, go out and find that farm or two that you got permission for, scout it out, figure out where the trails are, and you can hit that no problem. but you've got to do that homework. That's what's going to make or break your season, guys. I can't stress that enough. So, Anthony, you're getting antsy. It'll be here before you know it, bud. Jason, I'm using, I can't think of what it is. I just bought a new one at Walmart the other day. It's a Ruger something, 1,200 feet per second, 177. I think it's like $100 at Walmart right now. I can't think of exactly what it is, but that's what I've been using here recently. And I'll generally go through one every year because I kind of tear them up, but it's just part of it. They work really well though. I'll kill 700-800 coon with it before I start having issues with it. But like I said, with a pellet gun for $100, it's going to back of the truck in the rain. It's getting beat up. It's getting wore out. Just kind of how I am. I don't exactly treat it, like my 1187 that I have. I kind of beat the hell out of it. So, oh shoot, guys. Well, I suppose probably should start wrapping this up. It's almost midnight. My wife's got to go do some graphic. Since she's going to school for graphic design, she actually got asked to take some 6-month pictures of some random lady out of her town where she grew up that saw the pictures that she took for school, and she wants to take 6-month pictures of their son. So their kids' 6-month-old pictures are going to be taken by my wife tomorrow. She's pretty nervous, but she's pretty excited. So that's going to be fun. I'm pretty proud of her for it. It's going to be a good time. So, but we're going to have to start wrapping this up here pretty soon. Dan, it's a brake barrel, so it's an air piston, I believe. I don't know what the pressure is on it. It's pretty stout to begin with. I'd say probably 20 pounds of pressure or so to break that sucker open. Jason, I haven't tried the new pellets. I use the Piranha pellets. They're like $6 or $7 for 500. Really, really works for me. Just for their price and their efficiency, they work really well. LNJ, how long do I leave coons on a stretcher? Big dependence on that. If I'm flushing fur right now in 75-degree weather, about 4 days they're ready to come off. My shop's not heated, but it's got that walk-in freezer, so that heat blows in there for a long time. Because of the walk-in freezer produces exhaust and heats it. My shop never gets probably below 40 degrees. So even at 40 degrees, 7 days, probably at the longest, they're ready to come off. How I do mine, how I board my fur, I always pull in on the skirt and make that tail area really fluffy. When that little bubble on the tail is hard, it's ready to come off the board. Whether that's 3, 4, 10 days. Generally, it's between the 4 and 7 days it's ready to come off the board. Ohio Trapper, I look forward to meeting you next year at Lima. You'll have to look me up. I'm sure I'll be running around in some kind of cutoff with Iowa Trapper at some point. So, just thanks for chiming in finally. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good year this year. I know a lot of people don't think about trapping during the summer and stuff like that, but season's getting here. People are starting to think about trapping, and it's going to be here before you know it. So I'm going to do as many live feeds as I can between now and November 6th, but it's go time for me. It is time to get my rear in gear and get stuff done. So we've got a lot of work to do, but I don't feel terrible about it. Slightly overwhelmed, but I always do. It never fails. Even if Trapper J wasn't coming here to do a live feed that Saturday, November 6th, I would probably be out in the shop thinking, what else can I do to get ready for tomorrow? What else? What preparations can I do to prepare for the fiasco tomorrow? Because as soon as November 7th hits, opening day, It's balls to the wall. Everything's a mess. Try to keep everything organized, but disaster is going to happen. It's always going to be just an explosion in my truck. It's going to be so unorganized. But everything I can do to help make it organized beforehand, it's going to be that much better. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. Hey, thank Jeep, Eric. I appreciate it. Oh, Judas, you go till the nose gets hard. Oh, for me, for my shop, it seems like that's always after that bubble on the tail gets hard. We had the best photographer when doing our son's 1 year old photo. She was energetic and joking around and made us, but all our son feel comfortable so he could be himself instead of nervous and shy. That's a huge thing, Jeep. Absolutely. When we had our family pictures done a few years ago, that photographer so just, hey, look at me smile, and it was awesome. That she did so good. Oh, Anthony for sure. Fans on him speeds him up drastically. Dan, thanks for your time doing the live. Hope you meet up with you at one of the conventions next year. Hey, Dan. Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be fun. Next year I'll be at the Iowa convention, which we don't even know where that's at, but I'm planning on being at Lima. Uh, I really would like to try to do. Depends on where the Missouri's at, or even the Nebraska next year. I'd really like to try to make it out to a couple other places. Um, all depends on my work schedule and honestly my family schedule. They're always going to come first, but I'm going to do what I can. I want to meet people. I want to meet people, pick their brains, learn what I can about trapping from them, and hopefully, share what little bit I know about trapping to them too. So it should be a good time. Jeep, the convention's going to be at the campgrounds or the fairgrounds, I believe. Whatever fairgrounds it is in Lima is generally where it's at. Jason, I don't know of any conventions down there, buddy. Sorry, I wish I did. So, anyway, guys, it's been fun. I can't even tell you. I love watching doing these live feeds. Just watching you guys communicate and talk, and then just hear a little bit ago about the flushing beams and stuff. If I can connect other trappers to trappers and pick knowledge or ideas and share them, that is awesome. I love seeing that. That is so awesome. Actually, B, I really encourage you to check out say you want to be a trapper on Facebook. There's several other Facebook trapping groups that you can find that are very knowledgeable too. The Catch Circle is one of them. There's so many out there. If you reach out to me on Iowa Trapper, I can help really narrow some good ones down for you. But there guys, there's so much wealth online. Look up, Trapper J, which most of you probably already know about. Coon Creek, 330 Maniac. There's so much knowledge out here on the internet that wasn't there even when I started trapping 15 years ago. It's really grown. It's out there. It's just up to you how much you want to go out and search for it. So it's been fun, guys. Take care. I hate saying goodbye because it's so fun, but cheap. It'll be at the Allen County Fairgrounds next to Walmart. I need to get a hotel room for out there. That's something I need to do yet, but it's quite a drive for me. So, but I'm going to be out there. I've had a couple other people ask if I'm going to be out there, but it's going to be fun. I look forward to doing it. One thing about going out there is I'm looking forward to is the Iowa convention. Seems like I I'm not complaining about it, but I tend to help out more since it's my home state. All these people asking me questions, and normally I have an orange cutoff shirt on, which was what the volunteers wore. So everyone's asking me, "Hey, you know where this is or that is?" I'm like, I don't work here, but yeah, I'll take you. So I had to do a lot of chauffeuring, but hopefully the colors are different than orange or black next year, so that way I can actually just kind of relax and enjoy it a little bit. But all right, Judith and Dan, hey, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. It's been fun. It's been fun. Jason, I'm not on Instagram. I'm not a technology person, believe it or not. So, uh, something I need to figure out. I know a lot of other people are, but I need to figure it out. But anyway, guys, any last minute questions before I get off here? Anything at all? Anything? Because I'm about ready to call tonight and get my butt to bed. Guys, just trap. Go out there and trap and enjoy trapping. Whether you catch 1 or 5, 100, 1,000, 5,000, go out there and trap because you love to do it. It's just all we can do. And then just teach the next generation. Show them what this is about. Show them, you know, oh, traps are so inhumane. They're so terrible. Yeah, they're so terrible. Let me tell you. Yeah, so mean. People think traps are they're out there to break legs and to do all these terrible things, and they're not. Obviously, things have come a long ways. Share what we know as trappers to the next generation, because without them, we are screwed, guys. We are absolutely in trouble. There's no getting around that. Without support from the next generation, we're dying as trappers. So we need to get out there. We need to share it. That's all we can do. Hey, Jeep, I'm going to write that down. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. I'll probably see you next Friday or Saturday. I got to talk to Trapper Jay, see what time his deal is going to be, because I don't like to interrupt his. We kind of work together with it, but I'll do hit mine the opposite day of his. But season's getting here. You guys have a good night. Take care. Teach somebody about trapping. That's all we can do. That's all we can do, guys. So y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Check out, so you want to be a trapper on Facebook, or message me on Facebook at Iowa Trapper. Anything you guys need, any questions, please reach out. I'm happy to help in any way I can. But you guys have a good night.